Mike Tyson's story is one of intensity, transformation, and endurance. He came from a world of hardship, fought his way into history, and spent a lifetime redefining what it means to be a fighter, both in and out of the ring. His name evokes power, speed, and a fearsome presence few could match. Yet behind the knockouts and titles, there was always something more. A man shaped by tragedy, lifted by mentorship, and ultimately changed by experience. Welcome to Sleepy Sports, where you fall asleep to the greatest moments in sports history. Mike Tyson was born on June 30th, 1966, in Brooklyn, New York. His early life was marked by hardship and adversity. Raised in the Brownsville neighborhood, Tyson grew up in a world where poverty was a constant companion. The streets were unforgiving, filled with crime and violence. Young Mike was surrounded by influences that would shape his character profoundly. His mother, Lorna Tyson, was a single parent, struggling to provide for her 3 children. She faced immense challenges, often relying on welfare to make ends meet. The family moved frequently, unable to find stability in their living situation. This transient lifestyle left young Mike feeling rootless and abandoned. He was small for his age and often bullied. The need to defend himself became a crucial part of his development. In this environment, Tyson learned early the importance of toughness. He observed the dynamics of street life, where respect was earned through strength. The neighborhood was rife with gangs, and violence was a part of daily life. Tyson became familiar with the harsh realities of survival. He found himself drawn into the street culture, associating with older kids who introduced him to a world of petty crime. By the age of 10, Tyson had already encountered the law. He had been arrested for stealing a bicycle, a reflection of his desperate circumstances. These early legal troubles were a precursor to a more tumultuous adolescence. Tyson's home life was chaotic, and he often found solace in the streets. He was searching for a sense of belonging, a place where he could feel safe and respected. As he navigated this challenging environment, Tyson discovered boxing. It was a sport that offered him an escape, a chance to channel his anger and frustration into something productive. He began training at the local gym under the watchful eye of a trainer named Cus D'Amato. D'Amato recognized Tyson's raw talent and the potential for greatness within him. It was D'Amato who would become a pivotal figure in Tyson's life, providing him with guidance and discipline. D'Amato instilled in Tyson the importance of focus and hard work. He taught him not only the physical aspects of boxing, but also the mental discipline required to succeed. This mentorship was crucial for Tyson, who had long been seeking direction. The sport became a refuge for him, a way to escape the chaos of his life. Through boxing, Tyson found a sense of purpose and a way to reshape his identity. However, the road to success was not without its challenges. Tyson's past continued to haunt him. He struggled with anger management and often found himself at odds with authority figures. His rebellious nature led to more trouble outside the ring. Yet, with D'Amato's influence, Tyson began to channel his aggression into his training. He learned to harness his emotions, turning pain into power. As Tyson honed his skills, he began to gain recognition within the boxing community. His fights were characterized by raw intensity and an unyielding desire to win. He quickly rose through the ranks, capturing attention with his explosive style and ferocity. The discipline he learned from D'Amato was evident in his approach to the sport. Tyson was not just fighting opponents, he was fighting against the circumstances of his life. In 1980, Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion in history at the age of 20. His rise to fame was meteoric, but it was rooted in the struggles of his youth. The toughness he developed on the streets of Brooklyn served him well in the ring. He had transformed from a troubled child into a formidable athlete, driven by a hunger for success. Despite his achievements, Tyson's past was never far behind. The scars of his childhood remained, influencing his behavior and decisions. The discipline he gained from boxing was often at odds with the chaos of his upbringing. As he navigated the complexities of fame and fortune, the lessons learned in those early years continued to shape him. Mike Tyson's journey from the streets of Brooklyn to the pinnacle of boxing is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. His early life, marked by poverty and crime, forged a champion who would become an icon in the world of sports. The challenges he faced only fueled his determination. Through discipline and a relentless pursuit of greatness, Tyson turned his life around, proving that even the most difficult beginnings can lead to extraordinary outcomes. In 1979, a pivotal moment in the life of a young boxer named Mike Tyson unfolded. At the tender age of 13, he was a troubled youth, living in a rough neighborhood in Brooklyn, New York. Tyson had already experienced the harsh realities of life. He had been in and out of trouble with the law, struggling with a difficult upbringing, and wrestling with the demons of his environment. It was during this turbulent time that he crossed paths with a man who would change the course of his life forever. This man was Cus D'Amato, a seasoned trainer and a boxing visionary. D'Amato was not just a trainer, he was a mentor, a father figure, and a guiding light in the darkness that surrounded Tyson's life. Cus D'Amato had a long and storied career in boxing. He had trained several champions and had a keen eye for talent. When he first met Tyson, he saw something unique in the young boy. D'Amato recognized the raw potential within Tyson, a diamond in the rough. He believed that with the right guidance, Tyson could become a formidable force in the boxing world. This belief would become the foundation of their relationship. D'Amato took Tyson under his wing and began to instill in him a sense of discipline and purpose. He provided the structure that Tyson desperately needed. Under D'Amato's tutelage, Tyson's life began to transform. D'Amato introduced him to a rigorous training regimen, emphasizing the importance of hard work and dedication. Tyson would spend countless hours in the gym, honing his skills and developing his physique. D'Amato taught him the fundamentals of boxing, but he also instilled in him a deeper understanding of the sport. He emphasized the importance of mental strength, teaching Tyson to visualize his success and to believe in his own abilities. This was a crucial lesson for Tyson, who had always struggled with self-doubt. D'Amato's influence extended beyond the ring. He became a father figure to Tyson, providing the emotional support that he had longed for. Tyson's own father had abandoned the family when he was a child, leaving a void that D'Amato would help to fill. D'Amato's nurturing yet firm approach helped to shape Tyson into not just a better boxer, but a better person. He taught Tyson about respect, humility, and the importance of character. These lessons would stay with Tyson throughout his life, even as he faced the challenges and temptations that came with fame and success. In 1980, Tyson's rise in the boxing world began to accelerate. He fought several matches, showcasing his incredible speed, power, and skill. With D'Amato guiding him, Tyson became a force to be reckoned with. The young boxer was not just winning fights, he was dominating his opponents. D'Amato's training methods were unorthodox, focusing on the psychological aspects of boxing as much as the physical. He encouraged Tyson to adopt a unique fighting style that combined ferocity with finesse. Tyson's footwork, head movement, and punching power were all honed under D'Amato's watchful eye. As Tyson continued to rise through the ranks, he began to attract attention from the boxing community. Promoters and fans were captivated by the young prodigy. His fights became must-see events, and he quickly gained a reputation as one of the most exciting fighters in the sport. D'Amato remained a constant presence in Tyson's life, guiding him through the challenges of fame and success. He was there to celebrate Tyson's victories, but he was also there to provide counsel during moments of doubt and uncertainty. By the end of 1980, Tyson had become the youngest heavyweight champion in history. He won the World Boxing Association title at the age of 20, a remarkable achievement that solidified his status as a boxing legend. D'Amato's influence was evident in every aspect of Tyson's success. The structure, vision, and belief that D'Amato instilled in Tyson had transformed him from a troubled youth into a champion. Their bond was deep, built on mutual respect and a shared passion for the sport. However, the relationship between Tyson and D'Amato was not without its challenges. As Tyson's fame grew, so did the pressures that accompanied it. The world of professional boxing can be a ruthless place, filled with temptations and distractions. D'Amato worked tirelessly to keep Tyson grounded, reminding him of the values they had built together. He was a steady hand in a chaotic world, helping Tyson navigate the complexities of fame while maintaining his focus on boxing. In 1981, Tyson's career continued to soar. He defended his heavyweight title multiple times, each fight showcasing his incredible talent and determination. D'Amato's teachings were evident in Tyson's approach to the sport. He fought with a fierce intensity, combining skill with an unwavering belief in his own abilities. The bond between Tyson and D'Amato deepened as they faced the challenges of the boxing world together. D'Amato's health began to decline during this time, and Tyson became increasingly aware of the fragility of life. The lessons he learned from D'Amato took on a new significance. He understood that the values of discipline, hard work, and respect were not just important in the ring, but in life as well. Despite the challenges, Tyson remained committed to his training and his relationship with D'Amato. He recognized the sacrifices that D'Amato had made for him, and was determined to honor those sacrifices with his success. Their partnership was a testament to the power of mentorship and the impact one individual can have on another's life. Tyson's journey was not just about boxing, it was about personal growth, resilience, and the pursuit of greatness. As 1981 progressed, the pressure of being a champion began to take its toll on Tyson. The world was watching, and expectations were high. D'Amato's guidance became even more critical during this time. He encouraged Tyson to stay focused, to keep his eyes on the prize, and to remember the values they had built together. D'Amato's wisdom and experience were invaluable as Tyson navigated the complexities of fame and success. Tragically, in late 1980, Cus D'Amato passed away. His death left a profound void in Tyson's life. The man who had been his mentor, father figure, and guiding light was gone. Tyson was devastated, grappling with the loss of the person who had believed in him when no one else did. D'Amato's teachings, however, continued to resonate within Tyson. The lessons of discipline, hard work, and belief in oneself remained ingrained in his character. In the years that followed, Tyson would face numerous challenges both inside and outside the ring. The pressures of fame, personal struggles, and the complexities of life as a champion would test him in ways he could never have imagined. Yet the foundation that D'Amato had built remained a source of strength for Tyson. He often reflected on the lessons learned during those formative years and the profound impact that D'Amato had on his life. The relationship between Tyson and D'Amato serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of mentorship and the influence that one person can have on another's life. D'Amato's vision, belief, and guidance helped to shape Tyson into one of the most iconic figures in boxing history. Their bond transcended the sport, illustrating the profound connection that can exist between a mentor and a mentee. Tyson's journey from a troubled youth to a heavyweight champion is a testament to the power of belief, structure, and the unwavering support of a mentor who saw the potential within him. In 1981, a young man from Brooklyn, New York, named Michael Gerard Tyson, began to make waves in the world of amateur boxing. At just 14 years old, Tyson was a raw talent with a natural inclination for the sport. He had already faced a turbulent childhood, marked by the challenges of growing up in a rough neighborhood, but it was within the boxing ring that he found solace and purpose. Under the guidance of his mentor, Cus D'Amato, Tyson was introduced to the fundamentals of boxing, a foundation that would serve him well as he transitioned into the amateur ranks. D'Amato recognized Tyson's potential early on. He saw in him a ferocity and determination that was rare for someone so young. In the spring of 1981, Tyson entered the New York City Golden Gloves tournament. This prestigious competition was a proving ground for many young boxers, and Tyson was no exception. He fought with an intensity that belied his age, showcasing a combination of speed, power, and defensive skill that left opponents and spectators alike in awe. His performance in the Golden Gloves was nothing short of remarkable. Tyson won the tournament, marking his first significant achievement in the sport. Following his Golden Gloves victory, Tyson continued to hone his skills. He fought in various amateur bouts, steadily building a reputation as one of the most promising young fighters in the United States. Each match was a learning experience, allowing him to refine his techniques and develop his unique fighting style. Tyson's approach was aggressive yet calculated. He often employed a peekaboo style of defense, which involved keeping his hands high and utilizing quick head movements to evade punches. This style not only made him difficult to hit, but also set the stage for his explosive counterattacks. In 1982, Tyson participated in the National Golden Gloves tournament held in Omaha, Nebraska. This tournament attracted the best amateur boxers from across the nation, and Tyson was eager to prove himself on a larger stage. He fought valiantly, winning all his bouts by knockout. His ability to finish fights early became a hallmark of his boxing career. By the end of the tournament, Tyson had cemented his status as a rising star, capturing the National Golden Gloves title and further solidifying his place in the amateur boxing scene. As Tyson's reputation grew, so did his desire to compete at higher levels. He began to enter more challenging competitions, including the United States Amateur Boxing Championships. In 1983, Tyson faced formidable opponents, each test pushing him closer to his limits. Yet, with each bout, he displayed an uncanny ability to adapt and overcome. His training regimen was rigorous, often involving long hours in the gym, sparring sessions, and strategic analysis of his opponent's fighting styles. Tyson's dedication to the sport was unwavering, and it showed in his performance. In July of 1983, Tyson made a significant mark on the international stage by participating in the World Amateur Boxing Championships in Munich, Germany. This event was a critical stepping stone for many amateur boxers, serving as a gateway to professional opportunities. Tyson faced tough competition, but fought with the heart and passion that had become his trademark. He advanced through the rounds, showcasing his relentless style and powerful punches. Ultimately, Tyson earned a bronze medal, a commendable achievement that further elevated his profile in the boxing community. By the end of 1983, Tyson was not only a skilled amateur boxer, but also a young man with a vision. He knew that his time as an amateur was drawing to a close. His performances had attracted the attention of professional promoters, and the allure of turning professional was becoming increasingly tempting. Tyson's ambition was clear. He wanted to become the youngest heavyweight champion in history, a title that had never been within reach of someone as young as he was. The groundwork he had laid in the amateur ranks was crucial for this dream. In early 1984, Tyson made the pivotal decision to turn professional. With D'Amato's guidance, he signed with promoter Jim Jacobs, who recognized the potential for Tyson to become a boxing sensation. Tyson's first professional fight took place on March 6, 1984, against Hector Mercedes at the Albany, New York, Empire State Plaza. Tyson entered the ring with the confidence of a seasoned fighter, despite his inexperience. The bout lasted just one round, with Tyson delivering a powerful knockout that sent a clear message to the boxing world. He was a force to be reckoned with. The transition from amateur to professional boxing is often fraught with challenges, but Tyson's rapid ascent was remarkable. He fought frequently, showcasing his skills in a series of matches that displayed his ferocity and technical prowess. Each victory built upon the last, and with each knockout, Tyson's reputation grew. He was no longer just a promising amateur. He was becoming a household name. Throughout 1984, Tyson continued to dominate the heavyweight division, amassing an impressive record. His fights were characterized by his explosive speed and power, traits that set him apart from his contemporaries. Tyson's ability to close the distance quickly and unleash devastating combinations became a signature aspect of his fighting style. He was not just a boxer, he was a predator in the ring, hunting for openings and capitalizing on any mistakes made by his opponents. Tyson's rapid skill development during these formative years laid the foundation for his future success. His early matches were not merely about winning. They were about learning and evolving as a fighter. Each opponent presented a new puzzle to solve, and Tyson approached each bout with the mindset of a student eager to absorb knowledge. This relentless pursuit of improvement, combined with D'Amato's mentorship, helped shape Tyson into one of the most feared fighters of his era. By the end of 1984, Tyson had achieved what many thought was impossible for someone so young. He had become the youngest heavyweight champion in history by defeating Trevor Berbick on November 22, 1986, at the age of 20. However, the roots of this extraordinary accomplishment were firmly planted in the years of hard work, dedication, and skill development that began in 1981. Tyson's journey from a troubled youth to a boxing phenomenon was a testament to his resilience, talent, and the unwavering belief of those who saw greatness in him. Looking back at this period, it is clear that the years from 1981 to 1984 were instrumental in shaping Tyson's career. They were marked by a series of achievements that not only solidified his place in the world of amateur boxing, but also set the stage for his meteoric rise in the professional arena. Tyson's story is one of determination and ambition, a narrative that continues to resonate within the sport of boxing to this day. In 1985, the world of professional boxing witnessed the emergence of a young fighter who would soon become a household name. Michael Gerard Tyson, known simply as Mike Tyson, stepped into the ring with an explosive energy that captivated audiences and left opponents trembling. At just 18 years old, Tyson's ascent was as meteoric as it was mesmerizing. Trained by the legendary Cus D'Amato, Tyson had honed his skills in the Catskill Mountains of New York. His training regimen was rigorous, emphasizing speed, power, and an aggressive fighting style that would become his signature. Tyson's professional debut took place on March 6, 1986, against Hector Mercedes. This bout, held at the Albany Civic Center in Albany, New York, was the first glimpse the world had of Tyson's ferocity and technique. From the opening bell, Tyson showcased his remarkable speed and head movement. He darted in and out of range, landing powerful combinations that left Mercedes reeling. The fight ended in a knockout, just 1 minute and 30 seconds into the first round, a harbinger of the dominance that would characterize Tyson's early career. Following this auspicious start, Tyson embarked on a series of fights that would solidify his reputation as a rising star in the boxing world. His second fight came on March 22, 1985, against Dave Jacko. Tyson continued to impress, delivering another first-round knockout. The young fighter's ability to finish fights quickly became a hallmark of his style. He was not just winning, he was doing so with a ferocity that was both thrilling and intimidating. The momentum continued as Tyson faced James Tillis on May 6, 1985. This bout, held at the Glens Falls Civic Center, was a step up in competition. Tillis was a seasoned fighter, known for his durability and experience. However, Tyson's speed and power proved too much. The fight went the distance, but Tyson emerged victorious by unanimous decision. His performance against Tillis showcased his ability to adapt and overcome, as he demonstrated both skill and determination against a more experienced opponent. In June of 1985, Tyson faced Mitch Green at the famed Madison Square Garden in New York City. The atmosphere was electric. Tyson, now a rising sensation, was drawing larger crowds and greater media attention. Green, known for his toughness, was expected to provide a stern test for Tyson. However, Tyson's relentless assault overwhelmed Green. Tyson knocked him down multiple times before the bout was stopped in the 10th round. This victory further established Tyson as a force to be reckoned with in the heavyweight division. As the summer of 1985 unfolded, Tyson continued to rack up victories, each more impressive than the last. On July 26, he faced Jose Ribalta, another tough opponent. Tyson's speed and power shone through once again, and he won by unanimous decision after an 8-round fight. The victory was significant, as Ribalta had previously gone the distance with some of the best fighters in the division. But Tyson's relentless style left no doubt as to who was the superior fighter that night. In August, Tyson fought Tony Tucker, a bout that would be pivotal in his career. Tucker was an undefeated heavyweight champion, and the fight was for the IBF heavyweight title. Held on August 11, 1985, at the Las Vegas Hilton, this was a test for Tyson. Tucker was known for his size and boxing skills. However, Tyson's aggressive approach and unmatched speed allowed him to dominate the fight. Tyson won by unanimous decision, capturing the IBF title and further solidifying his status as a boxing prodigy. As the year drew to a close, Tyson faced a series of opponents that included the likes of Frank Bruno and Tim Witherspoon. Each fight was a testament to his growing prowess and marketability. Tyson's ability to finish fights quickly made him a fan favorite, and his unpredictable style kept both opponents and spectators on edge. By the end of 1985, Tyson had amassed a record of 22 wins, with 21 of those victories coming by way of knockout. This astonishing record was not just a reflection of his physical abilities, but also of the incredible mental fortitude he had developed under Cus D'Amato's guidance. In 1986, Tyson's star continued to rise. The world was watching as he prepared for his next challenge. On January 11, Tyson faced Jose Ribalta once again, this time in a rematch that would showcase Tyson's evolution as a fighter. The bout was held at the Las Vegas Convention Center, and Tyson entered the ring with a confidence that only a champion could possess. He dominated the fight from the outset, showcasing a blend of speed, power, and precision that left Ribalta unable to mount any meaningful offense. The fight ended in a knockout in the second round, further cementing Tyson's reputation as one of the most formidable fighters of his generation. Tyson's journey through the heavyweight ranks was not just about physical prowess. It was also about the mental game. The influence of Cus D'Amato loomed large over Tyson's early career. D'Amato instilled in Tyson a sense of discipline and focus that was crucial for his success. The relationship between mentor and mentee was one of mutual respect and admiration. D'Amato's teachings emphasized the importance of strategy and mental preparation. Tyson learned to visualize his victories, a technique that would serve him well as he faced increasingly challenging opponents. As 1986 progressed, Tyson faced off against some of the toughest fighters in the division. On March 10, he fought the veteran fighter James Tillis in a highly anticipated rematch. The fight was a test of Tyson's growth as a boxer. Tillis, known for his resilience, came into the fight with a plan to withstand Tyson's early onslaught. However, Tyson's relentless pressure proved too much. He knocked Tillis down in the second round and secured a unanimous decision victory, further cementing his status as a rising star in the heavyweight division. In May of 1986, Tyson faced a formidable challenge in the form of Tony Tucker once again. This rematch was for the WBC heavyweight title, and it was a defining moment in Tyson's career. The fight took place at the Las Vegas Hilton, and the atmosphere was charged with anticipation. Tyson's explosive style and unmatched speed were on full display. He overwhelmed Tucker with a series of powerful combinations, showcasing his ability to adapt and strategize mid-fight. Tyson won by unanimous decision, further solidifying his status as the undisputed heavyweight champion. Tyson's string of victories between 1985 and 1986 was not just a testament to his physical abilities, but also to his mental strength and the influence of his mentor, Cus D'Amato. Tyson's rapid rise to fame was characterized by a combination of raw talent, relentless training, and a fierce determination to succeed. As he continued to dominate the heavyweight division, the world watched in awe, captivated by the skill and ferocity of this young champion. The stage was set for Tyson to become one of the most iconic figures in the history of boxing, a legacy that would be defined by both his triumphs and his struggles in the years to come. In 1986, the boxing world witnessed a momentous occasion that would forever alter the landscape of the heavyweight division. On November 22nd of that year, a young and ferocious fighter named Michael Gerard Tyson stepped into the ring at the Las Vegas Hilton. He faced Trevor Berbick, a seasoned champion who had held the World Boxing Council heavyweight title. The stakes were incredibly high, not just for the fighters involved, but for the sport itself. Tyson, at the tender age of 20, had the opportunity to become the youngest heavyweight champion in history, a record that had stood since the early days of the sport. Tyson's ascent to this pivotal moment was remarkable. He was born in 1966 in Brooklyn, New York, and had a turbulent childhood. Raised in a rough neighborhood, he faced numerous challenges. However, it was in the gym where he found solace and purpose. Under the tutelage of the legendary trainer Cus D'Amato, Tyson honed his skills and developed a unique fighting style, characterized by speed, power, and an aggressive approach. D'Amato recognized Tyson's potential early on and took him under his wing, instilling in him the discipline and mental fortitude needed to succeed in the ring. As Tyson's career progressed, he quickly climbed the ranks of the heavyweight division. By the time he faced Berbick, he had already earned a reputation as a fearsome competitor. His previous fights had showcased his knockout power, with many opponents falling victim to his relentless style. Tyson's ability to close the distance and unleash devastating combinations made him a formidable force. In the lead-up to the bout against Berbick, the boxing community was buzzing with anticipation. Fans and analysts alike wondered if Tyson could indeed seize the title and etch his name into the annals of boxing history. The fight itself began with an electric atmosphere. The crowd was filled with excitement as Tyson entered the ring, clad in his signature black trunks. Berbick, on the other hand, was a seasoned champion, known for his resilience and experience. He had faced formidable opponents and had proven his mettle in the ring. However, the moment the bell rang, it became evident that Tyson was a man on a mission. He came out aggressively, launching a barrage of punches that caught Berbick off guard. Tyson's speed was astonishing. He darted in and out, landing precise hooks and uppercuts that seemed to come from nowhere. Berbick struggled to find his rhythm, often on the defensive, as Tyson pressed the attack. The young challenger showcased his trademark peekaboo style, bobbing and weaving to evade Berbick's jabs while countering with ferocity. Each punch landed with resounding impact, sending a clear message that Tyson was not just there to compete, he was there to dominate. As the rounds progressed, it became increasingly apparent that Tyson was in complete control. Berbick, despite his experience, could not withstand the relentless onslaught. Tyson's combinations were fluid, a testament to the countless hours he had spent perfecting his craft. The crowd roared with each successful strike, their excitement palpable. In the second round, Tyson's relentless pressure finally paid off. A powerful uppercut sent Berbick crashing to the canvas. The referee began the count, and it was clear that the end was near. Berbick struggled to rise, but Tyson's assault had left him unable to continue. When the referee waved his hands, signaling the end of the fight, the arena erupted in cheers. Michael Tyson had achieved what many thought was impossible. At just 20 years old, he had become the youngest heavyweight champion in boxing history. The significance of this achievement resonated far beyond the ring. Tyson's victory marked a turning point in the sport, as he embodied a new era of boxing characterized by youthful determination and raw talent. The implications of Tyson's triumph were profound. He not only broke the age record previously held by the legendary Floyd Patterson, but also ushered in a wave of interest in heavyweight boxing. Tyson's fierce persona, coupled with his knockout power, captured the imagination of fans around the world. He became a symbol of hope for many young fighters, proving that age was not a barrier to success in the ring. In the aftermath of the fight, Tyson's life changed dramatically. He became a household name almost overnight. The media frenzy surrounding his victory was immense. Interviews, endorsements, and promotional opportunities flooded in. Tyson's story resonated with people from all walks of life, and he quickly became a cultural icon. However, with fame came scrutiny. The pressures of being a champion at such a young age were immense, and the expectations placed upon him were daunting. Tyson's success in 1986 would set the stage for a remarkable career, yet it also foreshadowed the challenges that lay ahead. The world watched as he defended his title against various challengers, often with the same fierce determination that had marked his ascent. Tyson's reign as champion was filled with thrilling bouts and unforgettable moments, yet it was also marred by personal struggles and controversies. In the years following his historic victory, Tyson would face numerous challenges both inside and outside of the ring. The pressures of fame, coupled with personal issues, would take a toll on his life and career. Yet the legacy of that night in November of 1986 would remain a cornerstone of boxing history. Tyson's achievement was not merely about breaking records, it was about the promise of youth and the relentless pursuit of greatness. As time passed, Tyson's impact on the sport became clearer. He inspired a new generation of fighters, many of whom sought to emulate his style and tenacity. The boxing landscape was forever altered by his presence. The heavyweight division, once dominated by seasoned veterans, now found itself in the hands of a young champion, willing to take risks and challenge the status quo. In retrospect, the fight against Trevor Berbick in 1986 was more than just a title match. It was a defining moment that encapsulated the spirit of boxing, a sport that celebrates resilience, determination, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. Tyson's victory was a testament to the power of dreams and the belief that greatness can be achieved, regardless of age or circumstance. The echoes of that historic night continue to resonate in the boxing world. Tyson's journey serves as a reminder of the transformative power of sport. It highlights the importance of mentorship, discipline, and the unwavering support of those who believe in us. As we reflect on the significance of Tyson's achievement, we honor not only his legacy, but the countless individuals who strive for greatness in their own lives. In the years that followed, Tyson would face many challenges, but the triumph of 1986 remained a beacon of hope. It was a moment that transcended the sport, inspiring generations to come. The youngest heavyweight champion in history, Mike Tyson, had etched his name in the annals of boxing, forever changing the narrative of the sport. The impact of that night will be felt for years to come, a testament to the enduring spirit of a young man who dared to dream. In the late 1980s, the world of boxing witnessed a phenomenon unlike any other. This was the era of Mike Tyson, a time when he stood as the undisputed heavyweight champion, dominating the ring with a ferocity and skill that had not been seen before. Tyson's ascent began in the mid-1980s, but it was from 1987 to 1989 that he truly solidified his legacy. During this peak era, Tyson faced some of the most notable fighters of his time, including Larry Holmes, Michael Spinks, and Tony Tucker. Each of these matchups showcased Tyson's extraordinary talent and the impact he had on the sport. In the spring of 1987, Tyson faced Larry Holmes, a former heavyweight champion who had ruled the division for much of the early 1980s. Holmes was known for his exceptional jab and ring intelligence, having defended his title more than 20 times. However, by the time he entered the ring with Tyson, he was considered a fading star. The fight took place on April 22, 1987, at the Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey. The atmosphere was electric, filled with anticipation and tension, as fans filled the venue, eager to witness this clash of generations. As the fight began, it quickly became apparent that Tyson was in his prime. He moved with an agility that belied his size, darting in and out of range, employing his famous peekaboo style. Tyson's ability to slip punches while simultaneously delivering powerful counterattacks left Holmes struggling to find his rhythm. The first few rounds were a testament to Tyson's speed and power. He unleashed a barrage of punches, each one more punishing than the last. Holmes, despite his experience, could not cope with the intensity Tyson brought to the ring. By the fourth round, Tyson had already established control. He cornered Holmes against the ropes, unleashing a series of hooks and uppercuts. The relentless assault culminated in a knockout that came just before the end of the round. Tyson's victory over Holmes was not just a win, it was a statement. He had dethroned a legend and solidified his status as the top heavyweight in the world. The fight ended with a knockout at 2 minutes and 40 seconds of the fourth round, marking a significant moment in Tyson's career and the heavyweight division as a whole. Just a few months later, in June of 1987, Tyson faced another formidable opponent, Michael Spinks. Spinks, the lineal heavyweight champion, entered the bout undefeated and was known for his boxing acumen and speed. The fight was held on June 27th at the Convention Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey. It was billed as a historic matchup, pitting two champions against each other for the undisputed heavyweight title. The stakes could not have been higher. As the fight commenced, Tyson's presence was palpable. He exhibited the same ferocity that had characterized his previous bouts. Spinks attempted to use his speed and lateral movement to evade Tyson's power, but Tyson's footwork allowed him to cut off the ring effectively. In the first round, Tyson unleashed a devastating combination that sent Spinks to the canvas. While Spinks managed to rise and continue, it was clear that Tyson's power was overwhelming. The fight ended in dramatic fashion in the first round, with a knockout that came just 1 minute and 31 seconds into the bout. Tyson's victory over Spinks was not merely a victory in the ring. It was a moment that redefined the heavyweight division. Tyson had become the first heavyweight in history to hold the WBC, WBA, and IBF titles simultaneously. His reign was characterized by an aggressive style that left opponents reeling and fans in awe. Following his triumph over Spinks, Tyson's next significant challenge came in the form of Tony Tucker. Their matchup took place on August 21, 1987, in Las Vegas, Nevada. Tucker was an undefeated contender, known for his size and boxing ability. He was seen as a legitimate threat to Tyson's reign, possessing the skill and resilience to potentially turn the tide against the champion. As the bout unfolded, Tyson's strategy remained consistent. He sought to impose his will early in the fight, using his explosive speed and power to wear down Tucker. The rounds were competitive, with Tucker showcasing his ability to absorb punches and counter effectively. However, Tyson's relentless pressure began to take its toll. He worked the body, landing powerful shots that slowed Tucker's movement. In the later rounds, Tyson's conditioning and tenacity became apparent. He maintained a high work rate, continuing to unleash combinations that left Tucker on the defensive. Ultimately, the fight went the distance, but the judges awarded Tyson a unanimous decision victory. The bout served as a testament to Tyson's endurance and skill, as he continued to prove himself as the dominant force in the heavyweight division. As the 1980s progressed, Tyson's reign was marked not only by his victories, but also by the aura he created around himself. He was not just a champion, he was a cultural icon. His fierce demeanor, combined with his impressive knockout record, captivated audiences worldwide. Tyson's fights became events, drawing in fans from all walks of life and transcending the sport of boxing. In 1988, Tyson continued to defend his titles with the same ferocity that had characterized his earlier bouts. He faced a series of challenges, each one seeking to dethrone the champion. Yet, time and again, Tyson proved too formidable. His ability to adapt in the ring, combined with his raw power, made him a nightmare for opponents. The year became a showcase of his skills, solidifying his status as one of the greatest heavyweights in the history of the sport. Mike Tyson's peak era from 1987 to 1989 is remembered not only for the titles he won, but for the impact he had on boxing as a whole. His fights against Larry Holmes, Michael Spinks, and Tony Tucker are etched in the annals of boxing history as defining moments that showcase the talent and determination of a fighter at the pinnacle of his career. Tyson's unparalleled combination of speed, power, and ferocity redefined the heavyweight division and left an indelible mark on the sport. As the years have passed, his legacy continues to resonate, reminding fans and fighters alike of the extraordinary achievements of one of boxing's most iconic figures. In the years between 1988 and 1989, the boxing world witnessed a transformation in the life and career of Mike Tyson. At the height of his fame, Tyson was not merely a fighter, he was a cultural phenomenon. The youngest heavyweight champion in history, he claimed his title at the tender age of 20, and by the time he became the undisputed champion, he had captured the imagination of the public. His ferocious style and remarkable speed in the ring made him a force to be reckoned with. However, as his fame grew, so did the distractions that began to pull him away from the discipline and focus that had defined his early career. In 1988, Tyson was at the pinnacle of his success. He had just delivered a stunning victory over Michael Spinks, knocking him out in just 37 seconds. This match was not only significant for its brevity, but also for solidifying Tyson's status as the most feared heavyweight boxer of his time. The win was a culmination of years of hard work and discipline. However, the very fame that brought him such glory began to create a chasm between him and the rigid training regimen that had once been his lifeline. With each victory, the allure of celebrity life grew stronger, and Tyson found himself surrounded by a whirlwind of attention and adulation. As Tyson's popularity soared, so did the temptations that accompanied it. Lavish parties, expensive cars, and a lifestyle filled with excess became the new norm. Tyson, who had once been a focused and dedicated athlete, began to indulge in the luxuries that came with his newfound fame. The discipline that had been instilled in him by his mentor, Cus D'Amato, began to wane as the distractions of celebrity life took precedence. The world outside the ring beckoned him with promises of excitement and pleasure, drawing him away from the rigorous training that had shaped his career. In this period, Tyson's life was also marked by a series of personal challenges. The pressures of fame began to weigh heavily on him. As he navigated the complexities of being a public figure, he faced scrutiny from the media and the public. His every move was analyzed and dissected, creating an environment where mistakes were magnified. This constant attention added another layer of distraction, pulling him further from the discipline that had once been his foundation. The boxing ring, which had been a sanctuary for him, started to feel like an obligation rather than a passion. As 1989 approached, Tyson's personal life became increasingly tumultuous. His marriage to actress Robin Givens was highly publicized, and the couple's struggles played out in the media. The pressures of their relationship, combined with the demands of his boxing career, created a perfect storm of stress and distraction. Givens described Tyson as volatile and unpredictable, a stark contrast to the disciplined fighter who had once dominated the heavyweight division. This turmoil affected not only his personal life, but also his performance in the ring. The distractions of fame and personal strife began to take their toll on Tyson's focus and commitment to the sport. In the ring, Tyson's performances began to reflect the chaos in his life. In February of 1989, he faced James Tillis in a match that, while ultimately a victory for Tyson, showcased cracks in his once impenetrable defense. The fight went the distance, and for the first time, Tyson's opponents sensed a vulnerability. His raw power remained, but the sharpness and precision that had characterized his earlier fights seemed to fade. The distractions outside the ring were beginning to manifest within it, and the discipline that had once been his hallmark was slipping away. As the year progressed, the challenges continued to mount. Tyson's relationship with his trainer, Kevin Rooney, who had been instrumental in his success, began to deteriorate. Rooney had worked tirelessly to instill discipline in Tyson, but as Tyson became more entrenched in his celebrity lifestyle, his commitment to training waned. The bond that had once been so strong weakened under the pressure of fame and personal turmoil. Rooney's departure from Tyson's camp marked a significant turning point, as it removed a critical stabilizing force from Tyson's life. Without Rooney's guidance, Tyson's training became more erratic, and the consistency that had defined his early career faded. The distractions intensified further when Tyson began to surround himself with a new entourage. This group, often more interested in the perks of Tyson's fame than in his well-being, contributed to his growing detachment from the sport. They encouraged the lavish lifestyle that came with his success, reinforcing the notion that he was invincible. Tyson, eager to embrace this new image, began to lose sight of the hard work and dedication that had brought him to the pinnacle of boxing. The discipline that had once been a source of strength was now overshadowed by a culture of indulgence. By the summer of 1989, Tyson's life had spiraled into chaos. The distractions continued to multiply, and the pressures of his personal and professional life became increasingly overwhelming. The boxing community began to take notice of Tyson's struggles. His performances in the ring were no longer the dominant displays of power and skill that had once captivated audiences. Instead, they revealed a fighter who was increasingly unfocused and distracted, a shadow of his former self. In September of 1989, Tyson faced a formidable opponent in Frank Bruno. The fight, highly anticipated and heavily marketed, was seen as a test of Tyson's resolve. However, the match revealed the extent to which distractions had affected his training and focus. Although Tyson emerged victorious, the fight was a wake-up call. Bruno's resilience and determination pushed Tyson to his limits, exposing the cracks in his preparation and mindset. The fight served as a stark reminder that the discipline that had once been his cornerstone was fading. As 1989 drew to a close, the effects of fame, lavish living, and personal turmoil were unmistakable. Tyson's life had become a whirlwind of distractions, pulling him away from the very principles that had guided him to greatness. The boxing world watched with a mix of concern and fascination, wondering what the future held for the once mighty champion. Tyson's journey during these years serves as a poignant reminder of the delicate balance between fame and discipline. The distractions that accompanied his rise to prominence ultimately led to a pivotal moment in his career, one that would shape the trajectory of his life for years to come. In the late 1980s, the world of boxing was dominated by one man, Mike Tyson. He was a force of nature, a young champion, who had captured the heavyweight title at just 20 years old. Tyson's ferocity in the ring was matched only by his intimidating presence outside of it. His rise to prominence was meteoric, and by the time 1990 rolled around, he was regarded as invincible. His reputation was built on a series of devastating knockouts and an aggressive fighting style that left opponents in fear. Tyson had become a cultural icon, embodying raw power and unyielding determination. As 1990 approached, Tyson's reign as the undisputed heavyweight champion seemed unassailable. He had successfully defended his titles against notable fighters, including Tony Tucker and Pinklon Thomas. However, the cracks in his seemingly impenetrable facade began to show as he faced challenges outside the ring. Tyson's personal life was tumultuous. His marriage to actress Robin Givens was fraught with difficulties, and their public disputes revealed a man who was struggling with his own demons. These distractions began to take a toll on his performance, and whispers of vulnerability began to circulate in the boxing community. In the lead-up to the fight against Buster Douglas, Tyson was scheduled to defend his title on February 11, 1990. The venue was the Tokyo Dome in Japan, a setting that would soon be etched into boxing history. Douglas was seen as a formidable opponent, but he was not considered a serious threat. Many analysts and fans viewed him as merely a stepping stone for Tyson, a fighter who was expected to fall quickly under the champion's relentless assault. Douglas had a respectable career, with notable victories, but he had never faced anyone quite like Tyson. The odds were heavily stacked against him, with bookmakers offering staggering payouts for a Douglas victory. As the fight approached, Tyson's training regimen was less than ideal. Reports indicated that he was not in peak physical condition. His focus seemed to wane, and he appeared to be more interested in the celebrity lifestyle that accompanied his fame. Meanwhile, Douglas was preparing with a sense of urgency and determination. He had faced significant personal challenges, including the tragic loss of his mother just weeks before the fight. This loss fueled his motivation, giving him a sense of purpose that would prove pivotal in the ring. On the day of the fight, the atmosphere in the Tokyo Dome was electric. Fans from around the globe gathered to witness what they believed would be another dominant performance by Tyson. The arena was filled with anticipation, a palpable energy that buzzed through the air. As the fighters made their way to the ring, the stark contrast between their mental states was evident. Tyson, with his trademark scowl, seemed focused yet distracted. Douglas, on the other hand, exuded a quiet confidence, as if he were ready to seize the opportunity of a lifetime. As the bell rang to start the first round, Tyson came out aggressively, as was his custom. He sought to impose his will early, throwing powerful combinations in an effort to overwhelm Douglas. But Douglas, surprisingly, held his ground. He utilized his height and reach advantage, keeping Tyson at bay with a steady jab. As the rounds progressed, it became clear that Douglas was not merely surviving, he was actively engaging Tyson and landing significant punches of his own. The crowd, initially filled with Tyson supporters, began to shift its energy as Douglas found his rhythm. By the middle rounds, the tide had turned dramatically. Douglas was boxing with precision and poise, landing combinations that rattled Tyson. The champion, known for his knockout power, seemed to be struggling to find his footing. The fight began to unfold in a way that few could have anticipated. Tyson's frustration grew as he found himself unable to penetrate Douglas's defenses. The once dominant champion was now on the defensive, absorbing blows that would have felled lesser fighters. As the fight entered the later rounds, it became increasingly evident that Douglas was not only holding his own, but was on the verge of making history. He continued to showcase his skill, moving gracefully around the ring while maintaining his composure. Tyson, visibly fatigued and bewildered, was unable to mount a significant comeback. The fight was slipping away from him, and the crowd's disbelief grew with each passing moment. The atmosphere shifted from one of expected triumph for Tyson to a sense of impending doom for the champion. In the 10th round, the unthinkable occurred. Douglas unleashed a powerful uppercut that caught Tyson off guard, sending him crashing to the canvas. The roar of the crowd was deafening, a mix of shock and exhilaration. Tyson struggled to rise, but the referee began the count. As the numbers ticked away, it became clear that Tyson would not make it back to his feet in time. The count reached 10, and the referee signaled the end of the fight. Buster Douglas had done the unthinkable. He had defeated Mike Tyson, shocking the world and rewriting the narrative of heavyweight boxing. The aftermath of the fight was nothing short of monumental. Buster Douglas had not only claimed the heavyweight title, but had also secured his place in sports history. His victory was celebrated as one of the greatest upsets, a tale of perseverance and determination against overwhelming odds. For Tyson, the loss was a devastating blow. It marked the beginning of a tumultuous period in his life, as he struggled to come to terms with the defeat and the personal issues that continued to plague him. The boxing world was left reeling, as analysts debated the implications of the fight and what it meant for the future of the heavyweight division. Tyson's loss to Douglas served as a wake-up call. It shattered the illusion of invincibility that had surrounded him for so long. The defeat forced a re-evaluation of his approach to boxing and life. In the years that followed, Tyson would face numerous challenges, both inside and outside the ring, leading to a complex legacy that would be discussed for decades to come. Meanwhile, Douglas enjoyed a brief moment of fame, but his reign as champion was short-lived. He would lose the title in his first defense against Evander Holyfield later that year. The fight on February 11, 1990, became a defining moment in boxing history. It was a reminder that in sports, anything is possible. The narrative of the underdog triumphing against all odds resonated with fans and athletes alike. Buster Douglas became an emblem of hope and resilience, a testament to the power of belief and determination. Tyson's loss was a turning point that reshaped the landscape of heavyweight boxing, leaving a lasting impact on the sport and its followers. In the years since that fateful night in Tokyo, the story of Tyson and Douglas has continued to captivate audiences. It serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of complacency and the importance of mental fortitude in the face of adversity. Boxing, at its core, is a reflection of life itself, filled with unexpected twists and turns, triumphs and defeats. The legacy of that fight endures, a reminder that greatness can emerge from the most unlikely of circumstances. It is a story that will forever be etched into the annals of sports history, a narrative of resilience, heart, and the unpredictable nature of competition. In 1991, the world of boxing was captivated by the rise and fall of one of its most formidable figures, Mike Tyson. At the peak of his career, Tyson was known for his ferocious power and explosive style, which had earned him the heavyweight championship at a remarkably young age. However, the events of that year would mark a devastating turn in his life. In July of 1991, Tyson faced charges of rape, stemming from an incident involving Desiree Washington, a Miss Black America contestant. The case quickly garnered national attention, as it intertwined issues of celebrity, race, and gender, drawing scrutiny from the media and the public alike. As the trial began in January of 1992, the courtroom became a theater of emotion and tension. Tyson's defense team argued that the sexual encounter was consensual, while the prosecution painted a different picture, suggesting that Tyson had used his status and physicality to overpower Washington. The testimonies presented were deeply personal and raw, and the media frenzy surrounding the trial was relentless. The public's fascination with Tyson's life, both inside and outside the ring, only intensified as the case unfolded. On March 26 of 1992, after a week of deliberation, the jury found Tyson guilty of rape, sexual misconduct, and criminal possession of a weapon. He was sentenced to 6 years in prison, along with 4 years of probation. This conviction shattered the image of the once invincible champion. Tyson, who had been a symbol of strength and resilience, was now facing the harsh realities of prison life. His fall from grace was swift and unforgiving. The world watched as Tyson, who had once commanded the boxing ring with an iron fist, was led away in handcuffs, his future uncertain. Tyson's time in prison was marked by solitude and reflection. He was incarcerated at the Indiana Youth Center, a facility that housed young offenders. While there, he faced the challenges of adjusting to a life stripped of freedom. The world outside continued to evolve, yet within the prison walls, time seemed to stand still. Tyson spent many hours working on his fitness, maintaining the physical prowess that had once made him a champion. He also took the opportunity to read extensively, exploring various subjects that piqued his interest. Boxing magazines were a constant presence, a reminder of the life he once led, and the sport that had brought him fame and fortune. During his incarceration, Tyson's mental state fluctuated. He grappled with feelings of anger, betrayal, and despair. The isolation of prison life forced him to confront his past decisions and their consequences. He reflected on the pressures of fame and the impact it had on his life. In interviews conducted during this time, Tyson spoke candidly about his struggles, revealing a more vulnerable side that the public had rarely seen. He expressed a desire to learn from his mistakes and to emerge from prison as a changed man. As the years passed, Tyson's sentence was reduced, and he became eligible for parole. In March of 1995, after serving 3 years behind bars, he was released. The world outside had changed, and Tyson had to navigate a new landscape. The heavyweight division had seen the rise of new champions, and Tyson's return was met with a mix of skepticism and curiosity. Many questioned whether he could reclaim his former glory, while others were eager to see how he would adapt to life after prison. Upon his release, Tyson faced numerous challenges. The public perception of him had shifted, and he was no longer the invincible figure he once was. However, he was determined to make a comeback. He began training again, working with a new team that included the legendary trainer, Teddy Atlas. Tyson's dedication to regaining his title was evident, but the road ahead was fraught with obstacles. The pressures of the boxing world, combined with his tumultuous personal life, created a precarious situation. In the months following his release, Tyson fought several bouts, showcasing glimpses of his former prowess. He won his first fight against Peter McNeely in August of 1995, a bout that ended in a first-round knockout. This victory reignited hope among his fans, who yearned to see the return of the baddest man on the planet. However, Tyson's journey was not without its complications. His personal life continued to be tumultuous, marked by legal issues and conflicts that seemed to follow him like a shadow. As he navigated the complexities of his post-prison life, Tyson also faced the challenge of re-establishing his identity. The boxer who had once been revered was now a figure of controversy. Yet within this turmoil, Tyson began to seek redemption. He took steps to rebuild his life, focusing on his boxing career, while also exploring opportunities beyond the ring. Tyson's journey of self-discovery was ongoing, and he began to understand the importance of accountability and change. The years from 1991 to 1995 were transformative for Mike Tyson. They encapsulated a period of immense struggle, personal growth, and the quest for redemption. Tyson's story became one of resilience, illustrating the complexities of fame and the human spirit. As he moved forward, the boxing world watched closely, hoping to witness not just a champion's return, but a man's journey towards healing and self-acceptance. In the 1995-96 season, the boxing world was captivated by the return of a figure who had long been synonymous with the sport, Mike Tyson. After a hiatus from the ring due to his incarceration, Tyson was eager to reclaim his place at the pinnacle of heavyweight boxing. His journey back began with a series of fights that not only showcased his formidable skills, but also reignited the fervor of boxing fans around the globe. Mike Tyson's first bout after his release was against Peter McNeely on August 17, 1995. The fight took place at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada. Tyson, who had been away from the sport for nearly 4 years, was met with a wave of anticipation. Fans were eager to see if the ferocity that had once made him the youngest heavyweight champion of all time had been tempered by his time away. As the bell rang, Tyson wasted no time. He surged forward with the aggression that had defined his early career. Within the first 10 seconds, he landed a powerful right hook that sent McNeely to the canvas. The fight was a mere formality from that point on. Tyson's speed and ferocity were on full display, and he knocked McNeely out in the first round. This victory was more than just a win, it was a statement. Tyson was back, and he was ready to reclaim his dominance in the heavyweight division. Following this impressive return, Tyson faced Frank Bruno on March 6, 1996. The bout was held at the same venue, the MGM Grand, and it had garnered significant attention. Bruno, a former heavyweight champion himself, was a formidable opponent. He possessed considerable size and power, which made him a dangerous challenger for Tyson. The atmosphere was electric as fans filled the arena, eager to witness this clash of titans. As the fight commenced, Tyson quickly established his rhythm. He moved with a fluidity that belied his heavy stature. Bruno attempted to utilize his reach advantage, but Tyson's head movement and footwork allowed him to evade many of Bruno's jabs. Tyson's strategy was clear. He aimed to cut off the ring and force Bruno into exchanges. In the third round, Tyson landed a devastating uppercut that sent Bruno crashing to the canvas. The referee countered, but Bruno was unable to rise before the count reached 10. This victory solidified Tyson's status as a force to be reckoned with in the heavyweight division. It was a reminder to the boxing world that the baddest man on the planet had returned. Tyson's next fight was against Bruce Seldon on September 7, 1996. This match was particularly significant, as it was for the World Boxing Association heavyweight title. Selden was known for his speed and technical skills, and many believed he posed a legitimate threat to Tyson's resurgence. However, the bout took place in Las Vegas, and once again the crowd was electric with anticipation. As the fight began, Tyson maintained his aggressive approach. He quickly closed the distance, aiming to overwhelm Selden. The first round was a display of Tyson's relentless pursuit. Selden struggled to find his rhythm against Tyson's onslaught. In the first round, Tyson landed a powerful combination that sent Selden to the canvas. Although Selden managed to get back on his feet, Tyson's momentum was undeniable. In the first round, Tyson knocked Selden down again, and the referee stopped the fight shortly thereafter. This victory not only earned Tyson the WBA title, but also reaffirmed his position as a dominant force in heavyweight boxing. These 3 bouts marked the beginning of a new chapter in Tyson's career. After years of turmoil and setbacks, he was once again atop the heavyweight landscape. Tyson's victories were not merely about reclaiming titles, they were about re-establishing his legacy. With each win, he silenced critics who doubted his abilities and rekindled the passion of fans who had long awaited his return. In the 1995-96 season, Tyson's fights were not just events, they were moments that captured the essence of boxing. The spectacle of his return drew in viewers from all walks of life. The excitement surrounding his bouts transcended the sport itself, drawing attention from media outlets and pop culture. Tyson was not just a boxer, he was a phenomenon. His matches had the power to unite and excite, and they were often the topic of conversation long after the final bell had rung. As Tyson continued to assert his dominance in the ring, the boxing world held its breath. Would he be able to maintain this momentum? Could he navigate the challenges that lay ahead? The 1995-96 season was just the beginning of a tumultuous journey. Tyson's return was a reminder of the sport's unpredictability and the power of redemption. Each fight was a testament to his resilience and determination. In the ensuing months, Tyson would face new challenges and opponents, each one a stepping stone on his path to reclaiming the heavyweight crown. The excitement and drama of his journey captivated audiences, reminding everyone of the raw, unfiltered essence of boxing. Tyson's return was not just a personal saga, it was a chapter in the larger narrative of the sport itself. As fans settled in to watch, they were not just witnessing a fight. They were part of a story that would be remembered for generations. Through victories and setbacks, Tyson's journey during this period was marked by an unwavering commitment to his craft. The boxing ring became a sanctuary for him, a place where he could channel his energy and passion. Each punch he threw carried the weight of his experiences, his struggles, and his relentless drive to succeed. In the years that followed, Tyson would continue to evolve as a fighter and a person. The 1995-96 season was a pivotal moment in his career, setting the stage for the battles that lay ahead. It was a time marked by triumph, resilience, and the indomitable spirit of a champion. As Tyson moved forward, he would carry the lessons learned during this season with him, shaping his legacy in the annals of boxing history. The story of Mike Tyson's return is one of redemption and resilience. It is a reminder that even after the darkest of times, one can rise again. In the ring, Tyson showcased not only his physical prowess, but also the heart of a fighter. The 1995-96 season was a testament to the enduring spirit of boxing, a sport that continues to inspire and captivate. In the realm of boxing, the rivalry between Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield stands as one of the most tumultuous and captivating narratives of the sport. The years 1996 to 1997 were particularly significant, as they encapsulated the rise of this fierce competition that would culminate in one of the most shocking events in boxing history. Tyson, known for his ferocious power and aggressive style, had once been the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. After a series of legal troubles and a loss of his title, he was eager to reclaim his place at the top. Holyfield, on the other hand, was a fighter with resilience and skill, known for his tenacity and ability to adapt in the ring. Their contrasting styles and personalities made their encounters highly anticipated events. The first match between Tyson and Holyfield took place on November 9, 1996. This bout was not just a fight, it was a highly publicized event that drew attention from around the globe. Tyson, returning to the ring after a series of comeback fights, was viewed as a formidable opponent. He had regained some of his former glory and was once again a force to be reckoned with. Holyfield, having moved up to the heavyweight division after a successful career as a cruiserweight, was determined to prove that he belonged among the elite heavyweights. The fight was held at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada, and it was a spectacle from the outset. As the bell rang to signal the beginning of the fight, the atmosphere was electric. Fans were on the edge of their seats, and the anticipation was palpable. Tyson came out strong, using his trademark head movement and powerful punches to press Holyfield early in the match. However, Holyfield's strategy was to absorb the early onslaught and find his rhythm. He was known for his ability to withstand punishment and adapt his tactics as the fight progressed. As the rounds unfolded, it became evident that Holyfield's experience and strategic approach were paying off. By the later rounds, Holyfield had found his footing. He began to land significant punches, utilizing his jab and hooks effectively. The tide turned in the sixth round, when Holyfield delivered a series of blows that visibly affected Tyson. The fight was turning into a showcase of Holyfield's skill and determination. Tyson, who had been known for his explosive finishes, was finding it increasingly difficult to cope with Holyfield's relentless pressure and tactical acumen. In the 11th round, the referee stopped the fight, declaring Holyfield the winner by technical knockout. It was a decisive victory that shocked many, as Tyson had been favored to win. This loss marked a significant turning point in Tyson's career and elevated Holyfield to new heights. Following the first fight, the rivalry intensified. Both fighters knew that a rematch was inevitable, and the anticipation built steadily in the months leading up to their second encounter. Tyson, fueled by his defeat, was determined to reclaim his status. He trained rigorously, focusing on both his physical conditioning and mental fortitude. Holyfield, on the other hand, was basking in the glory of his victory, but he remained focused on the task ahead. The rematch was scheduled for June 28, 1997, and it was to take place at the same venue, the MGM Grand. As the date approached, the media frenzy surrounding the fight grew more intense. Both fighters participated in promotional events, and the tension between them was palpable. Tyson's demeanor shifted. He was more focused and intense than ever. Holyfield, while confident, was aware of the psychological games that Tyson was known for. The fight was not just a contest of physical prowess, but also a battle of wills. Fans across the world were eager to witness what was touted as the most anticipated rematch in boxing history. When the night of the rematch arrived, the atmosphere was charged with excitement and apprehension. The arena was filled with fans, celebrities, and media personnel. As the fighters entered the ring, the tension was almost unbearable. The bell rang, and both men began circling each other, each looking for an opening. Tyson came out aggressively, attempting to establish his dominance early on. Holyfield, however, was prepared. He used his experience to weather Tyson's initial attacks and began to implement his game plan. As the rounds progressed, the fight took on a strange and unsettling tone. Tyson appeared to be growing increasingly frustrated with Holyfield's resilience and tactical approach. In the third round, a pivotal moment occurred. After an accidental headbutt, Holyfield sustained a cut above his eye. The referee paused the fight to assess the damage, and the atmosphere in the arena shifted. Tyson, feeling aggrieved by the headbutt and the subsequent stoppage, began to lose his composure. The tension in the ring became palpable. As the fight resumed, Tyson's frustration boiled over. In the later rounds, he resorted to a more reckless approach. In an unprecedented and shocking moment, Tyson bit Holyfield's ear, tearing off a piece of it. The referee immediately stopped the fight and disqualified Tyson. The crowd was left in stunned silence, and the global reaction was one of disbelief. This incident marked a significant moment in boxing history, forever altering perceptions of Tyson and raising questions about his mental state and behavior in the ring. In the aftermath of the fight, the world was abuzz with discussions about the implications of Tyson's actions. Fans, commentators, and analysts struggled to comprehend what had transpired. Tyson's disqualification was not just a loss in the ring, it was a profound moment that resonated far beyond the sport itself. Many viewed it as a culmination of Tyson's tumultuous career, a reflection of his struggles with anger and impulse control. Holyfield, though victorious, was left to deal with the consequences of an event that overshadowed his remarkable achievement. The rivalry between Tyson and Holyfield had captured the imagination of boxing fans worldwide. However, the events of the rematch transformed it into a cautionary tale about the fragility of sportsmanship and the pressures faced by athletes at the highest levels. The fallout from the fight led to discussions about the need for better mental health support for athletes, as well as the importance of addressing the underlying issues that can lead to such explosive incidents. In the years that followed, both fighters would continue to define their legacies in different ways. Holyfield would go on to solidify his status as a legendary heavyweight, while Tyson's career would take a series of unexpected turns. The rivalry, marked by triumph and turmoil, would forever be etched in the annals of boxing history, serving as a reminder of the complex interplay between athletic prowess and the human experience. The events of 1996 and 1997 were not just about two fighters, they were a reflection of the sport's capacity for both greatness and chaos, leaving an indelible mark on the world of boxing. In 1999, the world of boxing was captivated by the unpredictable nature of its heavyweight division. At the center of this tumultuous landscape was the former champion, Mike Tyson. Once revered as a ferocious force, Tyson was now navigating the twilight of his career, a journey marked by both physical decline and personal turmoil. As the new millennium dawned, Tyson's reputation had shifted. The once mighty fighter had become a figure of both fascination and concern. Tyson's first bout of 1999 was against Francois Botha, a South African heavyweight. This match took place on January 21, at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada. Tyson won by knockout in the fifth round, showcasing flashes of the power and aggression that had once made him the most feared fighter in the ring. However, beneath the surface, there were signs of his deteriorating physical condition. Tyson appeared slower, his footwork less nimble. The fight served as a reminder of his past glory, but it also hinted at the struggles that lay ahead. Later that year, Tyson faced off against the formidable Lennox Lewis. This was not just any fight, it was a clash of titans. The bout took place on June 13th in Las Vegas, and it was highly anticipated by boxing fans around the world. However, the reality was stark. Tyson was no longer the invincible champion of the late 1980s. Lewis, a skilled and strategic fighter, was able to exploit Tyson's weaknesses. The fight ended in a knockout in the 8th round, marking a significant moment in Tyson's career. It was a harsh reminder that time had eroded his once dominant skills. As Tyson entered the new millennium, he faced a series of challenges that would define the next chapter of his career. In the year 2000, he fought 3 times. His first bout was against the relatively unknown fighter, Julius Francis, on January 31st. Tyson won decisively, but again, there were indicators of his declining abilities. The speed and ferocity that had once characterized his style were now dulled. Tyson's victory was overshadowed by the concern for his health and well-being. Later that year, he faced the rising star, Andrew Golota, on October 21. This fight was notable not only for its outcome, but also for the circumstances surrounding it. Tyson won by knockout in the 3rd round, yet the match was plagued by controversy. Golota, known for his erratic behavior, had been a challenging opponent in the lead-up to the fight. The bout itself highlighted Tyson's struggles. He was not the same fighter who had once overwhelmed his opponents with sheer power and speed. In 2001, Tyson faced a turning point. His match against the undefeated champion, Lennox Lewis, was rescheduled, and the anticipation built once more. The fight took place on June 21st in Memphis, Tennessee. The atmosphere was electric, but Tyson was unable to rise to the occasion. He was defeated by knockout in the 8th round, marking a significant blow not only to his career but also to his legacy. This fight was emblematic of Tyson's struggles. He was no longer the young, ferocious fighter who had once captivated audiences. As Tyson navigated the early 2000 years, the physical and emotional toll of his career became increasingly evident. In 2003, he faced a series of challenges, both inside and outside the ring. His bout against Clifford Etienne on February 22 was a brief respite. Tyson won by knockout in the 1st round, a momentary return to form. Yet, the victory felt hollow. It was a fleeting glimpse of the Tyson of old, overshadowed by the reality of his declining skills. The following year, Tyson faced Danny Williams on July 31st. This match would prove to be a pivotal moment in his career. Tyson entered the ring with the weight of expectation upon him. Fans hoped for a resurgence, a return to greatness. However, the reality was stark. Williams, a tough and determined opponent, was able to capitalize on Tyson's declining abilities. Tyson lost the fight in the 4th round, marking a devastating blow to his career. This defeat was not just a loss in the record books, it was a painful acknowledgement of the end of an era. In the years that followed, Tyson's career continued to spiral downward. In 2005, he faced an uphill battle. His bout against Kevin McBride on June 11 was not just another fight, it was a reflection of his entire career. Tyson entered the ring with a mixture of hope and resignation. The fight did not go as planned. Tyson was unable to continue after the 6th round, leading to a stoppage. This marked a significant moment in boxing history, as it was clear that Tyson's days as a dominant force were over. Tyson's decline was not merely a physical one. It was intertwined with personal struggles. His life outside the ring was marred by controversy, legal issues, and a constant battle for redemption. The once mighty champion found himself grappling with the realities of fame and the weight of his past. The years from 1999 to 2005 were a testament to the complexities of his journey. Tyson's story is one of triumph and tragedy, an exploration of the human spirit in the face of adversity. As Tyson's career came to a close, the boxing world reflected on the impact he had made. His rise to fame had been meteoric, marked by breathtaking knockouts and an unparalleled charisma. Yet the latter years of his career served as a sobering reminder of the passage of time and the fragility of greatness. In the end, Tyson's legacy would be defined not only by his victories, but also by the lessons learned in defeat. The journey of Mike Tyson is one that resonates deeply within the annals of boxing history, a story that continues to captivate and inspire. In the years following his retirement from professional boxing, which was officially announced in the year 2005, Mike Tyson found himself navigating a tumultuous landscape both personally and financially. The transition from the spotlight of the boxing ring to the quieter life outside it was anything but smooth. Tyson, once the heavyweight champion of the world, was now grappling with the reality of his situation, which included significant financial troubles and a need for personal reinvention. By the time Tyson announced his retirement, he had already experienced a rollercoaster career that included unparalleled highs and devastating lows. His peak years in the late 1980s and early 1990s saw him become the youngest heavyweight champion in history, a title he claimed at the tender age of 20. However, the subsequent years brought a series of controversies, legal troubles, and personal challenges that would ultimately lead to his downfall in the ring and a complicated legacy. In the years immediately following his retirement, Tyson faced a significant financial crisis. Reports indicated that he had amassed debts totaling over $30 million. His extravagant lifestyle, including lavish spending on luxury cars, mansions, and a fleet of exotic animals, had taken its toll. By 2006, Tyson's financial woes were front-page news, and he was forced to consider bankruptcy as a viable option. The harsh reality was that the man who had once earned hundreds of millions of dollars from boxing was now struggling to make ends meet. During this difficult period, Tyson's personal life was equally tumultuous. He faced a series of challenges that included legal issues, substance abuse, and the impact of his past actions. In 2006, he was arrested for driving under the influence, an incident that highlighted the struggles he faced in maintaining a stable life. This was compounded by the loss of his 4-year-old daughter, Exodus, in 2009, an event that profoundly affected him and brought about a significant emotional toll. The tragedy forced Tyson to confront his own mortality and the choices he had made throughout his life. As the years unfolded, Tyson began to take the necessary steps towards rebuilding his life. By 2007, he had entered rehabilitation for substance abuse, aiming to combat the demons that had haunted him for years. This journey towards recovery was not easy, but it marked the beginning of a new chapter in his life. Tyson sought to embrace a healthier lifestyle, focusing on fitness and mental well-being. This transformation was not just physical, it was a holistic approach to reclaiming his identity beyond that of a boxer. In the years that followed, Tyson began to explore new avenues for self-expression and public reinvention. One of the most significant steps in this direction came in 2009, when he made a guest appearance in the popular film The Hangover. His role as a fictionalized version of himself showcased a different side of Tyson, one that was humorous and self-aware. This performance was well received and marked the beginning of his transition into the entertainment industry. It provided him with a platform to reach a broader audience, allowing him to redefine his public persona. Tyson's journey towards reinvention continued in the years that followed. In 2010, he made headlines again when he announced that he would be participating in a reality television show called Mike Tyson: The Real Deal. This series aimed to provide fans with a glimpse into his life post-boxing, showcasing his efforts to rebuild his image and connect with his audience on a more personal level. The show was a reflection of Tyson's desire to be seen, not just as a champion in the ring, but as a multifaceted individual with a story of resilience and redemption. Throughout this period, Tyson also began to engage more actively with his fans and the public. He started giving motivational speeches, sharing his experiences and the lessons he had learned through his tumultuous journey. His ability to speak candidly about his struggles resonated with many, and he became a symbol of overcoming adversity. Tyson's willingness to confront his past and share his vulnerabilities allowed him to connect with audiences in a way that he had not done before. By the end of 2010, Tyson's transformation was evident. He had begun to carve out a niche for himself outside of boxing, embracing opportunities in entertainment, while also focusing on his personal growth. His story of redemption was beginning to take shape, and he was slowly but surely reclaiming his narrative. The journey was far from over, but Tyson had taken significant steps toward rebuilding his life, both personally and professionally. The years from 2005 to 2010 were marked by challenges and transformations for Mike Tyson. His initial retirement years were filled with financial struggles and personal turmoil, yet they also laid the groundwork for a remarkable reinvention. Through hardship and resilience, Tyson emerged with a renewed sense of purpose, ready to face the future and redefine what it meant to be Mike Tyson. In 2006, Mike Tyson began a new chapter in his life, one that would see him transition from the boxing ring to the world of entertainment. After a career filled with triumphs and controversies, Tyson's journey took an unexpected turn as he became a prominent figure in film and television. This period marked the beginning of a transformation, where he would emerge not only as a former heavyweight champion, but also as a cultural icon, capable of humor and relatability. In 2006, Tyson made a notable appearance in the reality television show Celebrity Apprentice, hosted by Donald Trump. This show placed Tyson alongside other celebrities, showcasing his personality outside the boxing ring. Viewers witnessed a different side of Tyson, one that was more approachable and candid. His interactions were characterized by a sense of vulnerability, revealing glimpses of his struggles and aspirations. This was a stark contrast to the fierce persona he had cultivated during his boxing career. The show allowed audiences to see him in a new light, as someone who could be both entertaining and sincere. As Tyson continued to navigate this new path, he also lent his voice to animated projects. In 2009, he appeared in the popular animated television series Family Guy. His character, a cartoon version of himself, brought a comedic twist to the show. This portrayal was light-hearted and humorous, showcasing Tyson's ability to poke fun at himself. The episode not only entertained viewers, but also marked a significant moment in Tyson's evolving public image. By embracing humor, he began to dismantle the intimidating facade that had long surrounded him. In 2010, Tyson took another significant step in his journey of reinvention, with the release of Tyson, a documentary directed by James Toback. The film offered an intimate look at Tyson's life, featuring interviews and archival footage that portrayed his rise to fame, the subsequent fall from grace, and his ongoing quest for redemption. Tyson's candid reflections provided a raw and honest perspective on his life, revealing the complexities of his character. The documentary was well received, and it served as a platform for Tyson to share his story, allowing audiences to connect with him on a deeper level. The following year, in 2011, Tyson made a memorable appearance in The Hangover Part 2, a comedy film that became a box office success. In this film, he played a fictionalized version of himself, showcasing his comedic timing and willingness to embrace absurdity. The scene in which he performs a rendition of One Night in Bangkok was particularly notable, as it highlighted his ability to blend humor with his larger-than-life persona. Tyson's performance resonated with audiences, further solidifying his status as a multifaceted entertainer. This role marked a significant departure from his boxing legacy, allowing him to explore new avenues of creativity. As Tyson continued to embrace his newfound career in entertainment, he also participated in various interviews and talk shows. His appearances on programs such as The Tonight Show with Jay Leno and The Late Show with David Letterman showcased his ability to engage with audiences through storytelling and humor. Tyson's candidness about his past struggles and his journey toward redemption resonated with viewers, allowing them to connect with him on a personal level. He became a figure of honesty, openly discussing his challenges, while also expressing his desire to grow and change. In 2012, Tyson's transformation reached new heights with the release of his one-man show, Mike Tyson Undisputed Truth. This production, which premiered on Broadway, offered an intimate glimpse into his life, blending storytelling with elements of performance. Tyson's ability to convey his experiences through captivating narratives showcased his growth as an entertainer. The show received positive reviews, with many praising Tyson's vulnerability and authenticity on stage. This marked a significant milestone in his career, as he successfully transitioned from a sports icon to a celebrated performer. Tyson's presence in the entertainment industry continued to flourish in the following years. In 2013, he made an appearance in The Hangover Part 3, reprising his role from the previous films. This continued involvement in the franchise reinforced his status as a comedic figure, further endearing him to audiences. His ability to embrace humor and engage with the absurdity of the situations he found himself in allowed him to become a beloved character within the series. In 2014, Tyson took on a new challenge by becoming a guest on various talk shows and podcasts. His candid discussions about his life, his struggles with mental health, and his journey of self-discovery captivated listeners. Tyson's openness about his past mistakes and his commitment to personal growth resonated deeply with audiences, allowing them to see him as a relatable figure. He became a source of inspiration for many, demonstrating that redemption is possible, regardless of one's past. By 2015, Tyson's influence in the entertainment industry had solidified. He continued to make guest appearances in various television shows and films, showcasing his versatility as an entertainer. His ability to balance humor with moments of introspection made him a compelling figure in popular culture. Tyson's journey from a troubled athlete to a symbol of resilience and redemption resonated with many, and he became a source of hope for those facing their own challenges. Throughout this period, Mike Tyson's transformation was not merely a change in career, but also a profound evolution as a person. His presence in movies, animation, and interviews allowed him to connect with audiences in new and meaningful ways. Tyson's journey highlighted the complexities of human experience, showcasing the power of humor, honesty, and redemption. As he continued to embrace his past while looking toward the future, he became an enduring figure in both the world of sports and entertainment. In the years spanning from 2010 to 2016, the former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson emerged as a captivating figure in popular culture, reflecting on his tumultuous past with a depth of emotion and a newfound awareness. This period marked a significant transformation for Tyson, who had long been defined by his ferocious persona inside the boxing ring and the chaotic life that unfolded outside of it. As he navigated this new chapter, he began to openly share his regrets and insights in various interviews and public appearances, offering a candid look at his journey towards self-discovery and redemption. In 2010, Tyson began to re-enter the public consciousness, not just as a boxer, but as a man grappling with the complexities of his life choices. At this point, he was often invited to speak at events and participate in interviews, where he would candidly discuss his past mistakes and the lessons he had learned. During a particularly revealing interview, he spoke about the years of turmoil that followed his rise to fame. He reflected on his early days as a fighter, recalling the immense pressure that accompanied his success. Tyson admitted that he struggled to cope with the fame and fortune that came his way. He described feeling isolated, even in a crowded room, and how that sense of loneliness drove him to seek solace in destructive behaviors. As Tyson continued to share his reflections, he often touched on his regrets, particularly regarding his relationships. He spoke about his tumultuous marriage with Robin Givens, which was marked by public controversy and personal strife. Tyson expressed regret for the pain he caused her and lamented the way their relationship unfolded in the spotlight. He acknowledged that his actions were driven by a combination of insecurity and a desire for validation, feelings that he had yet to fully understand at the time. This period of introspection allowed Tyson to explore the emotional scars that had lingered long after the boxing gloves were hung up. In 2011, Tyson's journey continued to unfold in the public eye. He starred in a one-man show titled Mike Tyson, Undisputed Truth, which provided a raw and unfiltered glimpse into his life. The show was a significant departure from the persona he had crafted in the boxing ring. It showcased not only his triumphs but also his failures, allowing audiences to witness the vulnerabilities that lay beneath his tough exterior. Tyson spoke candidly about his struggles with addiction, the loss of loved ones, and the consequences of his choices. The performance was a cathartic experience for him, as he recounted stories of his childhood and the factors that shaped his identity as a fighter. Tyson's honesty resonated with many, as he tackled the difficult subject of mental health. In interviews, he openly discussed the challenges he faced with anxiety and depression. He emphasized the importance of seeking help and breaking the stigma surrounding mental health issues. This willingness to share his struggles marked a pivotal moment in his life. Tyson began to embody a more vulnerable side, one that contrasted sharply with the fierce image he had projected during his boxing career. He became an advocate for mental health awareness, using his platform to encourage others to seek support. By 2012, Tyson's evolution continued to captivate audiences. He appeared in various media, including reality television, and even lent his voice to animated projects. Through these ventures, he showcased a lighter side of his personality, one that had often been overshadowed by his past. Tyson's humor and self-deprecation allowed him to connect with fans in a new way. In interviews, he would often reflect on the absurdity of his past and how far he had come. He spoke about the importance of laughter as a healing tool, a sentiment that resonated deeply with those who had followed his journey. In 2013, Tyson's introspection deepened further as he explored the themes of forgiveness and redemption. He began to publicly reconcile with his past, expressing remorse for the mistakes he had made. Tyson spoke about the impact of his actions on those around him, particularly his children. He acknowledged the difficulties of being a father and the desire to be a better role model. This period of reflection allowed him to confront the complexities of his identity, transforming the narrative of his life from one of violence and chaos to one of growth and understanding. As Tyson continued to share his thoughts, he often referenced his childhood experiences in Brooklyn, New York. He spoke about the challenges he faced growing up in a tough neighborhood and how those experiences shaped his outlook on life. Tyson's reflections on his upbringing revealed a deeper understanding of the factors that contributed to his eventual downfall. He expressed a desire to break the cycle of violence and hardship that had plagued his early years, striving to create a different legacy for his own children. In 2014, Tyson's candidness reached new heights when he participated in a series of interviews that delved into the more intimate aspects of his life. He spoke about the loneliness that accompanied his rise to fame and the toll it took on his mental well-being. Tyson recounted moments of despair, highlighting the internal battles he fought long after stepping out of the ring. He emphasized the importance of self-acceptance, acknowledging that he was a work in progress, still learning to navigate the complexities of his emotions. Tyson's reflections were not just about his personal struggles. They also encompassed a broader commentary on the nature of fame and success. He discussed the fleeting nature of celebrity, the pressure to maintain an image, and the consequences of living a life in the public eye. His insights resonated with many, as they highlighted the often hidden struggles faced by those who attain greatness. Tyson's willingness to share his vulnerabilities made him a relatable figure, allowing others to see the humanity behind the legendary boxer. In 2015, Tyson's journey of self-discovery continued to unfold. He began to engage in philanthropic efforts, using his platform to give back to the community. Tyson's involvement in various charitable initiatives reflected his desire to make amends for the past and contribute positively to society. He often spoke about the importance of mentorship and guidance, particularly for young people facing similar challenges. This shift towards altruism marked a significant turning point in his life, as he sought to inspire others through his own experiences. As he ventured into 2016, Tyson's reflections took on a more philosophical tone. He began to explore the concept of legacy, contemplating how he would be remembered in the years to come. In interviews, he often pondered the impact of his choices on future generations. Tyson expressed a desire to be remembered, not just as a fighter, but as someone who overcame adversity and embraced personal growth. This shift in perspective allowed him to find peace with his past, as he recognized the lessons learned along the way. Throughout this transformative period, Tyson's candid reflections on his past became a source of inspiration for many. He emerged as a figure of resilience, demonstrating that it is possible to confront one's demons and emerge stronger on the other side. His journey from a troubled young man to a self-aware adult resonated with those who had faced their own struggles. Tyson's willingness to share his story allowed him to connect with audiences on a deeper level, fostering a sense of empathy and understanding. In conclusion, the years from 2010 to 2016 marked a significant chapter in Mike Tyson's life. His candid reflections on his past revealed a man grappling with regret, seeking redemption, and striving for personal growth. Through interviews, public appearances, and philanthropic efforts, Tyson transformed his narrative from one of chaos to one of resilience. His journey serves as a reminder that it is never too late to confront one's past, embrace vulnerability, and strive for a brighter future. Tyson's story continues to inspire those who seek to overcome their own challenges, demonstrating the power of introspection and the importance of self-acceptance. In the years spanning from 2015 to 2018, Mike Tyson embarked on a profound personal journey that would reshape his perspective on life. Having experienced the peaks of fame and the depths of despair, Tyson sought solace in meditation, mindfulness, and spiritual growth. These practices became instrumental in his quest for inner peace and a renewed sense of purpose. Tyson's earlier life was marked by tumultuous events and a relentless pursuit of glory inside the boxing ring. He was a phenomenon, a heavyweight champion who captured the world's attention with his ferocious style and undeniable talent. However, fame came with its own set of challenges. The pressures of being in the limelight, coupled with personal struggles, led Tyson down a path of self-destruction. By the time he entered the 2015 era, he had already faced numerous public controversies, legal troubles, and personal losses. It was during this tumultuous period that Tyson began to explore the practices that would ultimately guide him toward a more harmonious existence. Meditation entered Tyson's life as a tool for managing the chaos that had once defined it. He discovered that stillness could provide clarity and peace. In a world that often felt overwhelming, Tyson found refuge in quiet moments of reflection. He began to understand that meditation was not merely a practice of sitting in silence, but a means of connecting with his inner self. This connection allowed him to confront the demons of his past and embrace the present moment without judgment. Mindfulness became a significant aspect of Tyson's transformation. He learned to cultivate awareness in his daily life, focusing on the here and now rather than being consumed by regrets of the past or anxieties about the future. This practice encouraged Tyson to appreciate the simple joys that life offers. Whether it was savoring a meal or enjoying a quiet walk, he became attuned to the beauty that surrounds us. Mindfulness taught him to breathe deeply, to be present, and to acknowledge his feelings without being overwhelmed by them. In 2016, Tyson's interest in spirituality deepened. He began to explore various philosophical teachings that resonated with his own experiences. He sought wisdom from figures such as the Dalai Lama, whose teachings on compassion and understanding profoundly impacted him. Tyson found himself drawn to the idea that true strength lies not in physical prowess but in emotional resilience and the ability to empathize with others. This shift in perspective encouraged him to reevaluate his relationships and how he interacted with those around him. As Tyson delved deeper into spirituality, he became increasingly open about his struggles. He used his platform to discuss mental health and the importance of seeking help. By sharing his journey, he hoped to inspire others who might be grappling with their own demons. His vulnerability became a source of strength, allowing him to connect with fans and individuals who admired his honesty. Tyson's willingness to confront his past and embrace vulnerability was a testament to his growth as a person. Throughout this transformative period, Tyson also sought guidance from various mentors and spiritual leaders. He engaged in conversations that challenged his beliefs and expanded his understanding of the world. These dialogues often revolved around the importance of forgiveness, both of oneself and others. Tyson learned that forgiveness is not a sign of weakness, but a powerful act of liberation. Letting go of anger and resentment allowed him to move forward with a lighter heart. In 2017, Tyson's journey took him to new heights as he embraced his role as a mentor to younger fighters. He began to share the lessons he had learned, emphasizing the significance of mental well-being in the sport. Tyson encouraged aspiring boxers to prioritize their mental health alongside their physical training. He understood that the pressures of competition could be overwhelming, and he wanted to provide a safe space for athletes to discuss their struggles. His mentorship became a blend of boxing technique and life philosophy, offering a holistic approach to the sport. Tyson's exploration of meditation and mindfulness also led him to examine his own beliefs about success and happiness. He realized that material possessions and accolades could not fill the void that existed within him. Instead, he found fulfillment in the connections he forged with others and the impact he could make in their lives. This shift in mindset allowed him to appreciate the present moment, finding joy in small victories and meaningful interactions. By the end of 2018, Tyson had cultivated a rich tapestry of experiences that informed his understanding of life. His journey into meditation and mindfulness had equipped him with the tools to navigate the complexities of existence. He had learned to embrace uncertainty and find beauty in impermanence. Tyson's story became one of resilience, illustrating that it is never too late to seek change and growth. As he continued to share his journey, Tyson remained an advocate for mental health awareness. He participated in events and discussions that highlighted the importance of addressing mental well-being, particularly in high-pressure environments like sports. He was not only a champion in the ring, but also a champion for those who felt lost and overwhelmed. Tyson's evolution from a troubled fighter to a beacon of hope for others was a testament to the transformative power of self-discovery and mindfulness. In summary, the years from 2015 to 2018 marked a significant chapter in Mike Tyson's life. His exploration of meditation, mindfulness, and spiritual growth became a guiding force in his quest for peace and purpose. Through vulnerability, mentorship, and a commitment to mental health advocacy, Tyson emerged as a figure of resilience and inspiration. His journey serves as a reminder that true strength lies not only in physical prowess, but in the ability to confront one's inner battles and emerge with a renewed sense of self. In the year 2018, the world of boxing was not just about the ring and the fighters. It was also about the evolution of its athletes into multifaceted entrepreneurs. One such athlete was the legendary Mike Tyson. Known for his ferocity and skill inside the squared circle, Tyson began to chart a new course for himself outside of it. He launched Tyson Ranch, a venture that marked his entry into the burgeoning cannabis industry. This was a significant development, not just for Tyson personally, but also within the broader context of sports and business. Tyson Ranch was conceived as a premium cannabis brand, and it was more than just a business. It was part of a larger narrative about wellness and the therapeutic properties of cannabis. Tyson had long been an advocate for the medicinal benefits of marijuana. He often spoke about how it helped him manage pain and anxiety, especially after his tumultuous boxing career. With the legalization of cannabis in several states across the United States, Tyson saw a golden opportunity. The ranch itself was located in California, a state that had become synonymous with cannabis culture. Tyson envisioned it as a place where people could not only purchase high-quality cannabis products, but also learn about the plant and its uses. The ranch was to feature various strains of cannabis, as well as a wellness center that would offer educational programs about the benefits of cannabis. This venture represented a significant shift in Tyson's public persona. He was no longer just a former heavyweight champion. He was becoming a wellness advocate and a businessman. In tandem with the launch of Tyson Ranch, Mike Tyson also ventured into podcasting. In 2019, he launched Hotboxing with Mike Tyson, a podcast that quickly garnered attention for its unique blend of conversation, humor, and introspection. The format allowed Tyson to explore various topics, ranging from boxing and sports to life experiences and personal growth. He often invited guests from different backgrounds, including fellow athletes, entertainers, and thought leaders. The podcast became a platform for Tyson to showcase not only his own journey, but also the journeys of others. He spoke candidly about his struggles with mental health, addiction, and the challenges of fame. Each episode was marked by a sense of authenticity and vulnerability. Tyson's ability to connect with his guests and audience was palpable. Listeners found comfort in his honesty, and the podcast quickly gained a loyal following. The conversations on Hotboxing often touched on the intersection of sports and wellness. Tyson frequently emphasized the importance of mental health and self-care, topics that have historically been neglected in the world of athletics. He shared his own experiences with therapy and mindfulness, encouraging listeners to prioritize their mental well-being. This focus on wellness was perfectly aligned with his cannabis business, creating a cohesive narrative around health and healing. In 2020, Tyson's entrepreneurial pursuits continued to flourish. The cannabis industry was rapidly evolving, and Tyson Ranch was positioned to take advantage of the growing market. Tyson explored various avenues, including partnerships and collaborations with other brands in the cannabis space. He sought to expand his product offerings, introducing edibles and other cannabis-infused items. The aim was to make cannabis accessible to a broader audience, especially those seeking alternative remedies for stress and pain. Tyson's foray into wellness entrepreneurship extended beyond cannabis. He began to delve into fitness and nutrition, recognizing that a holistic approach was essential for overall well-being. He launched a line of supplements aimed at promoting health and vitality. These products were formulated with the idea that true wellness encompasses not just physical fitness, but also mental and emotional health. As Tyson navigated his new ventures, he remained a prominent figure in boxing. In late 2020, he made headlines once again by stepping back into the ring for an exhibition match against fellow boxing icon Roy Jones Jr. This event was a nostalgic nod to the past, showcasing the enduring legacy of both fighters. The match was held on November 28, 2020, and drew significant media attention, highlighting the continued interest in Tyson's boxing career, even as he pursued new paths. The fight served as a reminder of Tyson's impact on the sport. Despite the years that had passed since his prime, his charisma and presence remained as captivating as ever. The event was not just a display of athleticism, it was also a celebration of Tyson's journey. The exhibition match became a symbol of resilience and reinvention, echoing the themes that Tyson had embraced in his life post-boxing. Throughout this period, Tyson's narrative was one of transformation. He was no longer just a fighter, known for his ferocious knockouts. He had evolved into a multifaceted entrepreneur, wellness advocate, and podcast host. His ventures in cannabis, fitness, and mental health were reshaping how athletes could engage with their legacies. Tyson's story became a beacon for others, illustrating the possibilities that lie beyond the ring. As Tyson continued to build his brand and share his story, he remained an inspiration for many. His journey highlighted the importance of self-discovery and the willingness to embrace change. In a world where athletes often face immense pressure to conform to traditional roles, Tyson's evolution stood out. He was rewriting the script, proving that life after sports could be rich and fulfilling. In the years 2018 to 2020, Mike Tyson not only redefined his personal narrative, but also contributed to a broader conversation about wellness in sports. His ventures into cannabis, podcasting, and fitness were not just business decisions, they were reflections of his own journey toward healing and self-acceptance. Tyson's story serves as a reminder that even the most celebrated champions can find new paths and purpose beyond their original calling. In the year 2020, the world of boxing witnessed a remarkable event that transcended the boundaries of sport and captured the imagination of fans around the globe. This event was the return of the legendary boxer Mike Tyson to the ring, not in a traditional high-stakes championship bout, but in a friendly exhibition match against fellow boxing icon Roy Jones Jr. The clash between these two titans, both of whom had left an indelible mark on the sport, sparked a wave of excitement and nostalgia that resonated deeply with audiences. Mike Tyson, once known as Iron Mike, had been a dominant force in the heavyweight division during the late 1980s. His ferocity, speed, and knockout power made him a household name. Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion in history at the age of 20, and he quickly gained a reputation for his aggressive style and intimidating presence. His career, however, was a tumultuous one, marked by personal struggles, legal issues, and a series of ups and downs in the ring. After retiring from professional boxing in 2005, Tyson's life took various turns, including acting roles, public appearances, and even a foray into the world of cannabis. On the other hand, Roy Jones Jr. was a multi-division champion, celebrated for his unique blend of speed, agility, and unorthodox boxing style. Jones rose to prominence in the 90s and became one of the most talented fighters of his generation. He was known for his ability to move in and out of range, making him a difficult opponent to hit. Like Tyson, Jones experienced a career filled with highs and lows, and by 2020, he had long since transitioned from the peak of his boxing career. Both fighters had long since stepped away from the rigors of professional competition, yet their legacies remained intact. As the world grappled with the challenges posed by the global pandemic, the return of Tyson to the ring represented a moment of escapism for many. The exhibition match, held on November 28, was promoted as a celebration of boxing and a showcase of skill, rather than a contest for titles or rankings. The event was broadcasted live from the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California, and was available for viewing through various streaming platforms, allowing fans to experience the match from the comfort of their homes. Leading up to the event, anticipation grew as both fighters engaged in a series of promotional activities. Tyson and Jones participated in interviews, sharing their thoughts on the upcoming bout and reflecting on their storied careers. The camaraderie between the two fighters was palpable, with both expressing admiration for each other's achievements. This friendly rivalry captured the attention of the media and the public, generating buzz that extended far beyond the boxing community. In the weeks leading up to the match, social media played a significant role in building excitement. Fans shared clips of Tyson's historic knockouts and Jones's flashy combinations, reminiscing about their glory days. The hashtags associated with the event trended on various platforms, drawing in not only die-hard boxing enthusiasts, but also casual viewers who were curious about the spectacle. The match was portrayed as a nostalgic journey through boxing history, a chance to witness two legends in the ring once more. The night of the exhibition arrived, and the atmosphere in the Staples Center was electric. Although the event took place without a live audience due to health and safety protocols, the energy was palpable. Tyson and Jones entered the ring to an enthusiastic reception, their presence evoking memories of epic battles from the past. The fight was structured as an 8-round exhibition, with each round lasting 2 minutes instead of the traditional 3. This format aimed to emphasize entertainment over competition, allowing both fighters to showcase their skills without the intensity of a championship match. As the first round commenced, Tyson's trademark ferocity was evident. He moved with a sense of purpose, displaying the power that had made him a feared opponent in his prime. Jones, known for his speed and agility, responded with his characteristic footwork and quick combinations. The two fighters exchanged blows in a manner that felt more like a spirited sparring session than a fierce contest. The crowd, though absent, could feel the tension and excitement radiating from the ring. Throughout the exhibition, the fighters demonstrated mutual respect. They engaged in light banter, occasionally smiling at each other between exchanges. This camaraderie was refreshing, especially in a sport often characterized by animosity and rivalry. The match served as a reminder that, despite their fierce personas, both Tyson and Jones shared a deep love for the sport and a respect for each other's accomplishments. As the rounds progressed, Tyson's power was on full display. He landed several hard shots that showcased the strength he still possessed, even after years away from competitive boxing. Jones, for his part, utilized his quickness and defensive skills to evade many of Tyson's more powerful punches. While the fight was not without its moments of intensity, it remained a friendly showcase rather than a battle for supremacy. The exhibition concluded after 8 rounds, with no official winner declared. Instead, the fight ended with both fighters raising their arms in celebration, acknowledging the achievement of stepping back into the ring after years away. The event was met with mixed reactions from fans and analysts, some praising the nostalgia and entertainment value, while others questioned the necessity of such exhibitions. In the aftermath, the exhibition match between Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. sparked a broader conversation about the future of boxing exhibitions. The interest generated by this event opened the door for other retired fighters to consider similar comebacks, often framed as exhibitions rather than traditional bouts. The allure of nostalgia combined with the desire for entertainment, in a world grappling with uncertainty, made such events appealing to both fighters and fans alike. The global fascination with the Tyson vs. Jones match extended beyond the boxing community. It served as a reminder of the enduring legacy of these two fighters and the impact they had on the sport. Fans from various generations tuned in to witness the event, bridging the gap between those who remembered Tyson's reign in the heavyweight division and those who admired Jones's dazzling performances in the ring. Ultimately, the exhibition match between Tyson and Jones was more than just a boxing event. It was a moment of connection and reflection. In a year marked by challenges and isolation, the fight provided a sense of unity and joy for many. It was a celebration of the sport, the athletes, and the memories they had created over the years. As the world continued to navigate the uncertainties of 2020, the return of Mike Tyson to the ring stood as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. It reminded fans of the power of sport to inspire, entertain, and bring people together, even in the most trying of times. The exhibition match may not have been a traditional contest, but it was an experience that resonated deeply with all who watched, leaving an indelible mark on the landscape of boxing history. In the mid-1980s, a young fighter named Mike Tyson emerged from the shadows of New York City, capturing the world's attention with a ferocity and skill rarely seen in the sport of boxing. Born in 1966 in Brooklyn, New York, Tyson's journey to the heavyweight championship was marked by hardship and determination. Raised in a challenging environment, he turned to boxing as a means of escape. Under the tutelage of the legendary trainer Cus D'Amato, Tyson honed his craft, developing a style that combined speed, power, and an almost primal instinct for the sport. D'Amato recognized Tyson's extraordinary potential and became a father figure to him, instilling the discipline and mental fortitude that would propel Tyson to greatness. In 1986, Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion in history at the tender age of 20. He achieved this feat by defeating Trevor Berbick in a stunning second-round knockout, a moment that would be etched in the annals of boxing history. Tyson's rise was meteoric, and his dominance in the ring was unparalleled. He captured the hearts of fans not only in the United States but across the globe. His unique blend of charisma, raw talent, and an intimidating presence made him a household name. Tyson's fights were not merely sporting events, they were cultural phenomena, drawing in millions of viewers and creating a frenzy that transcended borders. Throughout the late 1980s, Tyson's reign continued as he defended his title against some of the biggest names in boxing. He faced formidable opponents, such as Larry Holmes and Frank Bruno, both of whom were seasoned fighters in their own right. Tyson's ability to dismantle these opponents with a mix of technical prowess and overwhelming aggression solidified his status as a boxing legend. Each fight was a display of his devastating knockout power, with many of his victories coming in the early rounds. The world watched in awe as he delivered a series of fierce uppercuts and hooks that left his adversaries reeling. However, as quickly as Tyson ascended to the pinnacle of the sport, his life began to unravel. In 1990, Tyson faced legal troubles that would change the trajectory of his career. He was convicted of rape and sentenced to 6 years in prison. This period of incarceration was a stark contrast to his former life of fame and fortune. Tyson's absence from the boxing ring left a void that many fans felt deeply. It also sparked debates about the nature of fame, the pressures of being a public figure, and the consequences of personal choices. Upon his release in 1995, Tyson sought to reclaim his place in the boxing world. His return was met with a mix of excitement and skepticism. Many wondered if the former champion could regain his form after years away from the sport. Yet, Tyson quickly silenced his critics by defeating Frank Bruno in a thrilling match, reclaiming the heavyweight title. The victory was a testament to his resilience and determination, showcasing that even after adversity, a true champion can rise again. As the years progressed, Tyson's career continued to be a roller coaster of highs and lows. He faced setbacks both in and out of the ring, including bouts against Evander Holyfield, which would become infamous for their brutality and controversy. The first fight in 1996 ended in a loss for Tyson, but it was the rematch in 1997 that would shock the world. In a moment that remains etched in boxing lore, Tyson bit Holyfield's ear, an act that led to his disqualification and a significant fine. This incident not only tarnished Tyson's reputation, but also raised questions about his mental state and ability to handle the pressures of the sport. Despite these challenges, Tyson's popularity remained remarkably resilient. He became a figure of fascination, transcending the sport of boxing. His life story, filled with triumph, tragedy, and redemption, resonated with people from all walks of life. Tyson's struggles with mental health, his candid discussions about his past, and his journey towards self-discovery drew admiration from fans and commentators alike. In the years following his retirement, Tyson reinvented himself as a cultural icon, appearing in films, television shows, and even launching a podcast that explored various aspects of his life and career. By the early 21st century, Tyson had become a symbol of resilience and transformation. His story was no longer just about boxing, it was about the human experience. His ability to connect with audiences across generations and cultures was a testament to his enduring appeal. Younger fans, who may not have witnessed his prime, came to appreciate him through documentaries, social media, and his various public appearances. Tyson's candidness about his struggles endeared him to many, and he became a voice for those grappling with their own challenges. In recent years, Tyson's legacy has been celebrated in various forms. Documentaries and biopics have explored his life, offering an in-depth look at the man behind the legend. In 2020, Tyson made headlines once again by participating in an exhibition match against fellow former champion Roy Jones Jr. This event, which garnered significant attention, showcased Tyson's enduring skills and his ability to captivate audiences even in his later years. The fight was not just a nostalgic throwback, it was a reminder of the raw talent that had once electrified the boxing world. As Tyson's story continues to unfold, his popularity remains a testament to the complexities of his character. He is a figure who embodies the highs and lows of the human experience. Fans around the world admire him, not only for his accomplishments in the ring, but also for his candidness about his failures and triumphs outside of it. Tyson has become a symbol of resilience, redemption, and the power of transformation. The admiration for Mike Tyson spans generations and cultures, reflecting a universal appeal that few athletes can claim. His journey resonates with those who have faced adversity, illustrating that it is possible to overcome even the most daunting challenges. As the world continues to celebrate his legacy, Tyson stands as a reminder of the power of the human spirit and the enduring impact of sports on our lives. His story is one of passion, struggle, and ultimately, the quest for self-acceptance and understanding. In a world that often seeks heroes, Mike Tyson's journey remains a powerful narrative, inspiring countless individuals to rise above their circumstances and embrace their true selves. In the realm of boxing, the impact of Michael Gerard Tyson, often simply referred to as Mike Tyson, has reverberated through the sport from the late 1980s into the present day. Tyson's rise to fame began in the late 1980s, when he became the youngest heavyweight champion in history at the tender age of 20. His explosive power, combined with a unique fighting style and an unyielding mental approach, set the stage for a legacy that would inspire countless boxers across generations. From 1990 onward, Tyson's influence extended far beyond the ring. His technique, characterized by a blend of speed, ferocity, and head movement, became a model for aspiring fighters. Tyson's ability to slip punches, coupled with his devastating uppercuts, showcased a skill set that many sought to emulate. Young boxers observed his footwork and the way he closed distance with uncanny precision. The effectiveness of his peekaboo style, developed under the guidance of his trainer, Cus D'Amato, captivated a generation. This method allowed Tyson to evade blows while positioning himself to deliver powerful counterattacks. Tyson's intensity inside the ring was matched only by his fierce mental approach. He often spoke of the importance of psychological readiness and the need to instill fear in opponents. His mantra, "I am the greatest," was not just a declaration but a self-affirmation that resonated deeply with those who aspired to greatness in the sport. Tyson's self-confidence, sometimes bordering on bravado, inspired many young fighters to cultivate a similar mindset. They learned that belief in oneself could be as vital as physical prowess. This psychological component of boxing, often overlooked, became an integral part of training regimens for many aspiring athletes. Throughout the 1990s, Tyson's career experienced ups and downs, yet his influence remained steadfast. Even during his controversies and legal troubles, his comeback attempts drew attention and admiration. Boxers like Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield, who would later become legends in their own right, acknowledged Tyson's impact on their careers. They cited his ferocity as a benchmark, a standard against which they measured their own performances. The intensity of Tyson's fights, whether celebrated or criticized, continued to serve as a source of inspiration. In the late 1990s, Tyson's fights became cultural events. The hype surrounding his matches, particularly against Holyfield and Lewis, showcased the enduring allure of his persona. Young fighters watched as Tyson entered the ring, his presence commanding attention. They absorbed not only the physical attributes of his style, but also the way he carried himself with an almost palpable energy. His ability to capture the imagination of fans was a lesson in marketing oneself as a fighter. Many aspiring boxers learned that charisma, coupled with skill, could elevate one's status in the sport. As the new millennium approached, Tyson remained a figure of fascination. His life, marked by triumph and tragedy, was a case study for many young boxers. They observed the complexities of his journey, understanding that success in boxing often comes with personal challenges. Tyson's battles outside the ring, including his struggles with mental health and personal relationships, provided a cautionary tale. It reminded aspiring boxers of the importance of resilience and support systems. In the early 2000s, Tyson's influence persisted as he became a symbol of the sport's dramatic narrative. His fights, even in the twilight of his career, drew significant attention. The way he approached each bout, with the same intensity and ferocity, inspired a new generation of fighters. Young boxers like Bernard Hopkins and Oscar de la Hoya, who were at the forefront of the sport during this era, acknowledged the impact Tyson had on their careers. They recognized that the raw power and determination he exhibited were qualities to aspire to. As the sport of boxing evolved with the emergence of new training techniques and technological advancements, Tyson's foundational principles remained relevant. His emphasis on conditioning and mental fortitude became cornerstones of modern training regimens. Coaches began to incorporate elements of Tyson's style into their own teachings. They understood that the essence of his technique, speed, agility, and mental toughness was timeless. In the years that followed, Tyson transitioned into a cultural icon beyond the boxing ring. His presence in media, from documentaries to appearances on talk shows, further solidified his status as an influential figure. Young boxers not only looked to his fighting style, but also his ability to navigate the complexities of fame. Tyson's candidness about his struggles and triumphs resonated with many. He became a source of inspiration, not just for aspiring athletes, but for anyone facing adversity. In the late 2000s and into the 2010s, Tyson's legacy continued to inspire. The rise of social media allowed for a new generation of fighters to engage with his story. Young boxers shared clips of his most memorable fights, dissecting his techniques and drawing lessons from his approach to the sport. Tyson's message of resilience, determination, and the importance of mental strength became a rallying cry for many. Boxers like Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, who emerged in this period, often cited Tyson as a source of inspiration. They admired his tenacity and the way he transformed the heavyweight division. Wilder, known for his knockout power, echoed Tyson's philosophy of seeking to end fights decisively. Fury, with his own unique style, recognized the psychological aspect of boxing that Tyson embodied. He spoke of the need to be mentally prepared for the challenges within and outside the ring, echoing Tyson's sentiments. As the sport progressed into the late 2010s and early 2020s, Tyson's influence remained palpable. The emergence of mixed martial arts and other combat sports did not diminish his legacy. Instead, it highlighted the importance of boxing fundamentals that Tyson exemplified. Young fighters from various disciplines began to incorporate boxing techniques into their training, underscoring the foundational role Tyson played in combat sports. The boxing world is a tapestry of stories, and Mike Tyson's narrative is woven intricately into its fabric. His journey from a troubled youth to a heavyweight champion serves as a testament to the power of resilience and determination. Tyson's ability to inspire transcends mere statistics or accolades. It lies in the way he approached the sport with an intensity that captivated audiences worldwide. As we reflect on the years from 1990 to the present, it becomes clear that Tyson's influence is woven into the very essence of boxing. His technique, intensity, and mental approach have inspired countless fighters. From amateurs stepping into the ring for the first time, to seasoned professionals looking to solidify their legacies, Tyson's impact is undeniable. The spirit of his fighting style, coupled with his profound understanding of the mental game, continues to guide and motivate future generations of boxers. In a sport defined by its challenges, Tyson's journey serves as both a beacon and a cautionary tale. It teaches aspiring fighters that greatness is not solely defined by victories, but by the resilience to rise after defeats. As they lace up their gloves, they carry with them the lessons learned from a man who transformed the landscape of boxing. Mike Tyson's legacy is one of inspiration, a reminder that in the pursuit of greatness, the journey itself is as important as the destination. The evolution of boxing from the 1980s to the present day has been marked by the emergence of extraordinary talents, none more captivating than Michael Gerard Tyson. Tyson's ascent to greatness is a story woven into the very fabric of boxing history, comparable to the legacies of Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, and George Foreman. Each of these fighters has left an indelible mark on the sport, shaping its narrative and influencing generations of fans and athletes alike. Michael Tyson was born on June 30th, 1966, in Brooklyn, New York. He grew up in a challenging environment, which shaped not only his character, but also his fighting style. Tyson's entry into the boxing world began when he was introduced to the sport at a young age. Under the guidance of trainer Cus D'Amato, Tyson honed his skills and developed the fierce, aggressive style that would become his trademark. By the time he turned professional in 1985, he was already a force to be reckoned with. In November of 1985, Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion in history at the tender age of 20. He defeated Trevor Berbick to claim the World Boxing Council title, marking the beginning of a reign that would see him unify the heavyweight division. Tyson's fighting style was characterized by his explosive speed, power, and an unrelenting ferocity that struck fear into the hearts of his opponents. He was known for his ability to deliver devastating knockouts, often ending fights in the early rounds. Tyson's impact on boxing during the late 1980s was profound. He brought a new level of excitement to the heavyweight division, drawing in fans and media attention like never before. His fights became major events, and his persona transcended the sport. Tyson was not just a fighter, he was a cultural phenomenon. His rise to fame coincided with the growth of pay-per-view television, allowing fans to witness his explosive bouts from the comfort of their homes. While Tyson's style and persona captivated audiences, it is essential to position him within the context of boxing history. Muhammad Ali, known for his charisma and unmatched skills, had already established a legacy that was unparalleled. Ali's fights with Joe Frazier and George Foreman in the early 1970s defined a generation and showcased the sport's ability to transcend mere competition. Ali's philosophy of self-promotion and social activism set a precedent that Tyson would later follow, albeit in a different manner. Joe Frazier, with his relentless pressure and indomitable spirit, was another legend of the sport. Frazier's rivalry with Ali is one of the most storied in boxing history. Their bouts were not only battles of skill, but also contests of wills, showcasing the heart and determination of two of boxing's greatest champions. Frazier's style was a stark contrast to Tyson's, emphasizing endurance and tenacity over raw power. George Foreman, known for his incredible punching power and later his successful comeback, adds yet another layer to this rich tapestry. Foreman's fights in the 70s, particularly against Ali, demonstrated the unpredictability of the sport. His ability to reinvent himself in the 90s further highlighted the dynamic nature of boxing. Foreman's legacy, like that of Ali and Frazier, serves as a benchmark against which Tyson's accomplishments can be measured. As Tyson's career progressed into the early 1990s, he faced challenges both inside and outside the ring. The loss of his trainer and mentor, Cus D'Amato, in 1985, left a void that Tyson struggled to fill. The pressures of fame and the tumultuous personal life he led began to take their toll. In 1990, Tyson suffered a shocking defeat to Buster Douglas in Tokyo, an upset that reverberated throughout the boxing world. This loss was not merely a setback in Tyson's career, it represented a turning point that would define the latter part of his life. In the aftermath of the defeat to Douglas, Tyson's life spiraled further out of control. His legal troubles and personal struggles overshadowed his boxing career. In 1992, Tyson was convicted of rape and sentenced to 6 years in prison. During his incarceration, the boxing world evolved. New champions emerged, and the heavyweight division experienced a shift in dynamics. Fighters like Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis began to dominate the landscape, each carving their path and building their legacies. Tyson's return to boxing in 1995 was met with both anticipation and skepticism. The world wondered if the former champion could reclaim his position among the elite. Tyson's comeback was marked by a series of victories, but the shadow of his past loomed large. His fights were not just about reclaiming titles, they were also a quest for redemption. In comparing Tyson's impact to that of Ali, Frazier and Foreman, one must consider not only their achievements in the ring, but also their influence on the sport and society. Ali, with his unyielding spirit and commitment to social justice, transcended the sport. Frazier's grit and determination embodied the heart of boxing, while Foreman's journey from champion to comeback kid showcased the resilience of the human spirit. Tyson's legacy, however, is complex. He represents both the pinnacle of boxing talent and the pitfalls of fame. As Tyson's career continued into the 21st century, he transitioned from the ring to popular culture. He became a figure of intrigue, appearing in films, television shows, and even releasing an autobiography. This reinvention allowed Tyson to connect with a new generation of fans, illustrating the enduring appeal of his larger-than-life persona. The heavyweight division has continued to evolve in the years since Tyson's prime. Fighters such as Wladimir Klitschko and Tyson Fury have emerged, each bringing their unique styles and narratives to the sport. The rise of these new champions has sparked debates about the greatest heavyweight of all time. Yet Tyson's name remains etched in the annals of boxing history. Today, as we reflect on Tyson's legacy, it is essential to view him through the lens of the greats that came before him. He was a product of his environment, shaped by the same forces that influenced Ali, Frazier, and Foreman. Each of these fighters contributed to the rich narrative of boxing, and Tyson's story is a vital chapter in that ongoing saga. In examining the impact of Tyson, one cannot overlook the emotional resonance of his journey. His rise and fall mirror the struggles faced by many, making him a relatable figure in the often heroic world of sports. Tyson's story is not merely one of triumph and defeat, it is a testament to the complexities of human nature and the enduring spirit of resilience. As the years pass, the legacy of Michael Tyson will continue to spark conversations among boxing enthusiasts. His place among the all-time greats is secure, alongside legends like Ali, Frazier, and Foreman. Each fighter, with their unique stories and contributions, has shaped the landscape of boxing in their way. Tyson remains a symbol of both the beauty and the brutality of the sport, a reminder that greatness often comes with its challenges. In the grand tapestry of boxing history, Tyson's impact is undeniable. He is a figure who encapsulates the essence of the sport, its highs and lows, its triumphs and tragedies. As we reflect on his journey, we celebrate not just a fighter, but a man who has faced the complexities of life with courage and tenacity. Tyson's story is still being written, and as new chapters unfold, his legacy will continue to inspire and resonate with fans around the world. In the year 2011, the world of boxing welcomed a momentous occasion that would etch itself into the annals of the sport's history. It was the year when the legendary boxer, Michael Gerard Tyson, known to fans simply as Mike Tyson, was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. This event was not merely a ceremonial recognition of his achievements inside the ring. It symbolized a deeper narrative of redemption and recognition that transcended the sport itself. Mike Tyson's career began in the late 1980s, when he quickly rose to prominence as a ferocious heavyweight champion. His explosive style, characterized by unmatched speed and power, captivated audiences worldwide. Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion in history at the age of 20, a record that remains unbroken to this day. His ascent was meteoric, and by the end of 1986, he had unified the heavyweight titles, establishing himself as a dominant force in boxing. However, the story of Mike Tyson is not just one of triumph. It is also a tale marked by controversy, personal struggles, and a tumultuous journey through life. As Tyson's career progressed, he faced numerous challenges outside the ring. His personal life became a whirlwind of legal troubles, including a highly publicized conviction for rape in 1992, which led to 3 years in prison. This period of incarceration, coupled with the subsequent difficulties he faced upon his release, cast a long shadow over his legacy. Tyson's struggles with mental health and substance abuse added layers of complexity to his character, often overshadowing his accomplishments as a boxer. For many years, the narrative surrounding Mike Tyson was one of downfall rather than greatness. Yet, the year 2011 marked a significant turning point. Tyson had begun to reclaim his life and reputation in the years leading up to his Hall of Fame induction. He had embraced a path of self-improvement and introspection. Tyson's appearances in popular culture, including his role in the film The Hangover, and his one-man show Mike Tyson Undisputed Truth, showcased a more vulnerable side of the former champion. This new chapter in his life allowed him to connect with fans in a way he had never done before. He became a figure of resilience, illustrating that it is possible to rise from the ashes of one's past. The induction ceremony itself was a celebration of Tyson's achievements as a boxer. It took place in Canastota, New York, the home of the International Boxing Hall of Fame. The event brought together boxing enthusiasts, former champions, and fans who had followed Tyson's career through its many ups and downs. As he stood on the stage, Tyson reflected on his journey. He spoke candidly about his struggles, his mistakes, and his desire for redemption. His heartfelt words resonated with many in attendance, reminding them that even the most celebrated figures can face profound challenges. Tyson's induction was not just a personal victory, it was a recognition of the complexities of his life. It acknowledged that greatness in boxing is not solely defined by titles and victories, but also by the ability to confront one's demons and emerge stronger. In this sense, Tyson's induction served as a testament to the human spirit. It emphasized that the path to redemption can be fraught with obstacles, yet it is achievable through perseverance and self-reflection. As Tyson received his Hall of Fame ring, there was a palpable sense of closure for both him and his supporters. This moment represented not only a celebration of his boxing legacy, but also a reconciliation with the past. Tyson had faced the harsh judgments of society and had come out the other side, ready to embrace his identity as a champion both inside and outside the ring. The induction signified a new chapter, one where he could redefine himself and inspire others who have faced adversity. The significance of Tyson's induction into the Hall of Fame extends beyond his individual journey. It also reflects a broader narrative within the sport of boxing. Tyson's story is emblematic of the struggles many athletes face, particularly those who achieve fame at a young age. The pressures of success, the pitfalls of celebrity, and the challenges of personal life can create a storm that is difficult to navigate. Tyson's experience serves as a cautionary tale, reminding both athletes and fans alike of the importance of mental health and the need for support systems in the world of professional sports. In the years following his induction, Tyson continued to evolve. He became an advocate for mental health awareness, using his platform to discuss the importance of seeking help and breaking the stigma surrounding mental illness. His transformation from a troubled icon to a figure of hope and resilience has inspired many. Tyson's journey highlights the idea that it is never too late to change, grow, and seek forgiveness, both from oneself and from others. The International Boxing Hall of Fame induction in 2011 was a pivotal moment in Mike Tyson's life. It not only recognized his extraordinary contributions to the sport of boxing, but also marked a significant step in his journey toward redemption. Tyson's story reminds us that greatness is not solely defined by accolades and victories. It is also shaped by our ability to confront our past, learn from our mistakes, and strive for a better future. As we reflect on this event, it is essential to appreciate the complexity of Mike Tyson's legacy. He remains a polarizing figure, admired by many and criticized by others. Yet his induction into the Hall of Fame in 2011 serves as a powerful reminder that redemption is possible. It is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the capacity for growth, even in the face of adversity. Tyson's journey is one that resonates with many, illustrating that the path to healing and self-discovery is often fraught with challenges, but ultimately, it is a journey worth taking. In the world of boxing, few figures evoke as much passion and intrigue as Mike Tyson. Transitioning from the late 1980s into the 1990s, Tyson was not just a fighter, he was a phenomenon. His ascent to the pinnacle of the sport was meteoric, characterized by a ferocity and skill that left audiences breathless. However, the decade that followed his initial rise saw a complex evolution in his relationship with fans, a journey marked by both triumphs and tribulations. As the 1990s unfolded, Tyson faced significant challenges both inside and outside the ring. The year 1992 was particularly tumultuous. Tyson was convicted of rape and sentenced to 6 years in prison, an event that shocked his fans and the sporting world. This period of incarceration was a critical juncture in his life. It altered his public perception and forced him to confront his demons. While he was physically absent from the boxing arena, his emotional connection with fans remained palpable. Many of his supporters felt a deep sense of empathy for him. They viewed him as a flawed human being, rather than a mere athlete. This connection was rooted in the vulnerability he displayed during interviews and public appearances. Tyson was open about his struggles, sharing insights into his psyche that resonated with fans who had faced their own hardships. When Tyson was released from prison in 1995, he returned to the ring with the fervor of a man eager to reclaim his legacy. His comeback fight against Peter McNeely was a spectacle, showcasing not just his boxing prowess but also the emotional weight of his return. Fans rallied around him, their admiration tinged with a sense of hope. They yearned to witness the rebirth of a champion who had once dominated the sport. In that moment, Tyson was more than just a fighter. He embodied resilience and the ability to rise from adversity. As the years progressed, Tyson's career continued to be a roller coaster ride. He experienced both high-profile victories and devastating defeats. However, what remained constant was the bond he shared with his fans. This connection was further solidified during his appearances on various media platforms. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, Tyson began to embrace his persona in a way that was both candid and relatable. He spoke openly about his life experiences, his battles with mental health, and the complexities of fame. This vulnerability endeared him to a new generation of fans who appreciated his honesty and willingness to share his journey. In the 2000s, Tyson's relationship with his supporters underwent another transformation. He began to explore different avenues outside of boxing, including acting and reality television. His role in the film The Hangover, released in 2009, showcased a lighter side of Tyson. The audience witnessed him in a comedic context, which contrasted sharply with his fierce boxing persona. This portrayal allowed fans to see a different dimension of his character. The mutual admiration between Tyson and his supporters deepened as they recognized his willingness to embrace new challenges and reinvent himself. In recent years, Tyson has continued to evolve, moving further away from the traditional confines of boxing. His decision to participate in exhibition matches, such as the highly publicized bout against Roy Jones Jr. in 2020, demonstrated his desire to engage with fans in a new way. The event was not just about competition, it was a celebration of Tyson's enduring legacy and the connection he had forged with audiences over decades. Fans tuned in, not only to see the fight, but also to witness the man who had become a cultural icon. This event was a testament to the fact that Tyson had transcended the sport itself, becoming a symbol of resilience and redemption. Through the years, Tyson's openness about his struggles has allowed him to connect with fans on a personal level. He has spoken candidly about his battles with addiction, mental health issues, and the challenges of fame. This honesty has fostered a sense of loyalty among his supporters. They see him as a figure who has faced adversity and emerged with a deeper understanding of himself and the world around him. Tyson's journey is not just one of athletic achievement, it is also a narrative of personal growth and transformation. As Tyson continues to navigate his post-boxing career, his emotional connection with fans remains a cornerstone of his identity. The stories he shares resonate deeply, reminding audiences of the complexities of the human experience. His ability to be vulnerable and authentic has created a bond that transcends the sport itself. Fans appreciate the depth of his character and the lessons he imparts through his journey. In the 2020s, Tyson has embraced a new role as a mentor and advocate for mental health awareness. He actively participates in discussions about the importance of mental well-being, using his platform to encourage others to seek help and support. This commitment to advocacy has further solidified his relationship with fans, who admire his willingness to use his experiences to inspire positive change. Tyson's journey is a reminder that even the most celebrated figures face struggles, and it is through these challenges that true strength is forged. In summary, the evolution of Mike Tyson's emotional connection with fans from the 1990s to the present day is a testament to the power of vulnerability and authenticity. Tyson's openness about his struggles coupled with his willingness to embrace change, has allowed him to maintain a loyal following. As he continues to navigate the complexities of life beyond the ring, his relationship with fans remains a profound and enduring aspect of his legacy. Through the highs and lows, Tyson has forged a bond that transcends the sport, reminding us all of the resilience of the human spirit. Mike Tyson's journey through the world of boxing is a captivating tale of raw power, personal evolution, and resilience. From his rise to prominence in the 1980s to his ongoing transformation in the present day, Tyson embodies a unique duality that few athletes have managed to achieve. His story is not merely one of athletic prowess, it is also a profound exploration of human struggle, redemption, and the complex nature of fame. In the early 1980s, Mike Tyson emerged as a force to be reckoned with in the boxing ring. He was a young, ferocious fighter, known for his incredible speed, knockout power, and an almost primal intensity that captured the imagination of fans around the world. By 1986, Tyson had become the youngest heavyweight champion in history, securing the World Boxing Association title at the tender age of 20. His style was relentless. He fought with a unique combination of aggression and skill that set him apart from his contemporaries. Tyson's early career was marked by a series of devastating victories, with many opponents succumbing to his fearsome punches within the first few rounds. The boxing community was electrified by his potential, and he quickly became a global sensation. Tyson's rise was not without its challenges. Behind the scenes, his personal life was tumultuous. Raised in a rough neighborhood in Brooklyn, New York, Tyson faced numerous hardships during his childhood. He was introduced to the sport of boxing by the legendary trainer Cus D'Amato, who became a father figure to him. D'Amato instilled discipline and focus in Tyson, but the pressures of fame began to take their toll as he entered the public eye. As Tyson's fame grew, so did his personal struggles. His relationships became strained, and he faced legal issues that would ultimately lead to a prison sentence in 1992. This period marked a significant turning point in Tyson's life and career. The raw power that had once made him a champion was now overshadowed by personal demons and the consequences of his actions. Upon his release from prison in 1995, Tyson sought to reclaim his place in the boxing world. He returned to the ring with a determination that was both inspiring and troubling. While he remained a formidable opponent, the years spent away from the sport had changed him. Tyson's fighting style had evolved. He was no longer the unstoppable force of his youth. Instead, he appeared more vulnerable, grappling with the expectations of fans and the media. Despite this, Tyson's charisma and presence continued to draw attention. His fights were highly publicized events, and he garnered a loyal following that admired not just his boxing skills, but also his complex persona. In the years that followed, Tyson's boxing career was marked by both triumph and turmoil. He faced a series of ups and downs, including notable fights against Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis. The infamous ear-biting incident in 1997 during his match against Holyfield shocked the world and added another layer to the narrative of Tyson's life. It was a moment that transcended sports, highlighting the intersection of violence and vulnerability that defined his character. The boxing community was left to grapple with the implications of Tyson's actions, and for many, it was a stark reminder of the fragility of fame and the burdens that come with it. As the new millennium approached, Tyson's life continued to unfold in unexpected ways. He faced financial difficulties and personal challenges, including battles with substance abuse. However, through these trials, Tyson began to explore a different side of himself. He became increasingly introspective, engaging in public speaking and sharing his story in a manner that resonated with many. Tyson's willingness to confront his past and discuss his struggles with mental health and addiction was a significant shift from the brash persona he had once embodied. This transformation allowed him to connect with a new generation of fans, who appreciated his candidness and vulnerability. In the years that followed, Tyson's evolution continued. He ventured into acting, appearing in films and television shows that showcased his personality beyond the boxing ring. His role in the film The Hangover introduced him to a broader audience and highlighted his ability to embrace humor and self-awareness. Tyson's willingness to poke fun at himself marked a departure from the more serious image he had cultivated during his fighting career. This newfound lightness was refreshing and demonstrated his growth as an individual. As Tyson approached his 50s, he embarked on a new chapter in his life. In 2020, he participated in an exhibition match against fellow former champion Roy Jones Jr. The fight was a nostalgic return to the ring, drawing attention not only for the athleticism displayed, but also for the camaraderie between the two fighters. It served as a reminder that, despite the challenges he had faced, Tyson still possessed the raw talent that had once made him a champion. The event was not just about competition, it was a celebration of resilience and the enduring spirit of the sport. Today, Mike Tyson stands as a testament to the complexities of personal transformation. He embodies both the raw power that defined his early career and the introspective wisdom he has gained through years of struggle. Tyson's journey is one of redemption, as he has learned to navigate the intricacies of life beyond the boxing ring. He has become an advocate for mental health awareness, using his platform to inspire others who may be grappling with their own challenges. In many ways, Tyson's story is a reflection of the duality of the human experience. He is a figure who has faced the heights of success and the depths of despair. His evolution from a young, ferocious fighter to a more nuanced individual has resonated with fans around the world. Tyson's ability to embrace his vulnerabilities while still showcasing his formidable strength is a rare quality that sets him apart from many athletes. As we reflect on Mike Tyson's journey, we are reminded that the path of personal transformation is often fraught with obstacles. However, it is also a journey filled with opportunities for growth and understanding. Tyson's life serves as a powerful narrative that encourages us to confront our own struggles and embrace the complexities of our existence. In a world that often seeks to define us by our successes and failures, Tyson's evolution reminds us that true strength lies in the ability to adapt, learn, and rise again. In the early 2020s, the world of boxing was witnessing a renaissance of sorts. This resurgence was marked by a blend of nostalgia and innovation, as the sport began to embrace both its storied past and its evolving future. The decade opened with a deepening interest in the legends of yesteryear, while simultaneously welcoming new talent that promised to reshape the landscape of boxing. This unique juxtaposition created a rich tapestry of stories that captivated fans and analysts alike. One of the most prominent figures in this era was the former heavyweight champion, Michael Gerard Tyson. Tyson's life and career had been a whirlwind of triumphs and tribulations, marked by a meteoric rise to fame in the late 1980s, followed by a series of personal and professional challenges that seemed insurmountable. As the 2020s unfolded, Tyson emerged as a symbol of resilience, demonstrating that redemption is possible even after the most tumultuous of journeys. In the early 2020s, Tyson was not just a relic of the past, but a man who had embraced his history with humility and grace. He frequently reflected on his tumultuous career and the lessons learned. Tyson had spent years grappling with the demons of fame and fortune, but he had also dedicated himself to understanding the sport that had given him everything. He became an advocate for mental health awareness, sharing his story to inspire others who faced similar struggles. His candid discussions about anxiety and depression resonated with a generation that increasingly recognized the importance of mental well-being. Tyson's re-emergence in the boxing world was not only about his past glories, but also about his current endeavors, In November of 2020, he stepped back into the ring for an exhibition match against fellow former champion Roy Jones Jr. This event, which captured the attention of millions, was a testament to the enduring appeal of both fighters and the nostalgia surrounding their legacies. The bout was more than just a display of athleticism. It was a celebration of their shared history and the love of boxing itself. Tyson approached the match with a calm demeanor, showcasing a newfound respect for the sport and his opponents. It was evident that he had found a sense of peace, and this tranquility was infectious. As Tyson continued to engage with the boxing community, he also ventured into the world of entertainment. He hosted a podcast where he explored various aspects of life, sport, and personal growth. His conversations were often reflective, weaving in anecdotes from his own life, while encouraging listeners to pursue their passions and confront their fears. This new chapter in Tyson's life highlighted his evolution from a brash young fighter to a wise and contemplative figure. The 2020s also saw the rise of new stars in the boxing ring, each bringing their own unique flair to the sport. Fighters like Teofimo Lopez, Gervonta Davis, and Canelo Alvarez captured the imagination of fans with their explosive styles and compelling narratives. Each fighter had their own journey, filled with challenges and triumphs that mirrored the broader themes of resilience and redemption. The sport was evolving, incorporating modern training techniques, nutrition, and analytics, while remaining deeply rooted in its rich history. Promoters and networks began to recognize the value of storytelling in boxing. Each match was framed not only as a contest of skill, but as a narrative arc that engaged fans on a deeper level. The boxing community embraced documentaries and series that chronicled the lives of fighters, revealing their struggles and aspirations. This shift towards storytelling fostered a greater connection between athletes and their audiences, allowing fans to see the human side of their heroes. As the decade progressed, the conversation around boxing continued to evolve. Issues such as athlete safety, health protocols, and the impact of social media on fighters' lives became increasingly prominent. The sport began to confront its past, addressing concerns about concussions and long-term health effects with a newfound seriousness. This introspection was crucial as the boxing world sought to ensure the safety of its athletes while maintaining the integrity of the sport. In the midst of these changes, Tyson's journey served as a beacon of hope for many. His life had been a series of highs and lows, but he had emerged as a figure of stability and wisdom. He often spoke about the importance of grounding oneself in reality, acknowledging the fleeting nature of fame and success. Tyson's reflections were not just about boxing. They were about life itself, about learning to navigate the complexities of existence with grace and humility. As the 2020s continued, Tyson found himself involved in various charitable endeavors, using his platform to give back to the community. He supported initiatives aimed at helping at-risk youth, sharing his story to encourage young people to pursue positive paths. Tyson's transformation from a troubled fighter to a compassionate mentor illustrated the profound impact that personal growth can have on others. The boxing world was not without its controversies, as rivalries intensified and debates over match outcomes stirred passionate discussions among fans. However, Tyson remained a steady presence, often advocating for unity within the sport. He emphasized the importance of respect among fighters, regardless of their backgrounds or rivalries. Tyson's voice became a calming influence, urging the boxing community to celebrate its shared love for the sport rather than allowing divisions to fester. As the decade drew to a close, Tyson continued to reflect on his life, finding solace in the knowledge that he had overcome immense challenges. His current life was a stark contrast to the chaos of his earlier years. He had cultivated a sense of peace that seemed to radiate from him. Tyson's journey had led him to a place of understanding, where he could appreciate the beauty of both victory and defeat. In the 2020s, Tyson had become a mentor, a friend, and a source of inspiration. He engaged with fans and aspiring fighters alike, sharing his insights and encouraging them to stay true to themselves. His legacy was no longer defined solely by his past achievements in the ring, but by the wisdom and compassion he displayed in his everyday life. Tyson's transformation was a testament to the power of redemption. He had weathered the storms of fame, fortune, and personal strife, emerging on the other side with a newfound clarity. As the world of boxing continued to evolve, Tyson stood as a reminder that true strength lies not just in physical prowess, but in the ability to learn, grow, and inspire others. In this era of renewed interest in boxing, Tyson's story resonated deeply with fans, transcending the sport itself. He had become a symbol of hope, demonstrating that it is never too late to change one's narrative. As the 2020s progressed, Tyson remained a beloved figure, embodying the spirit of boxing, while also serving as a mentor to the next generation of fighters. His journey from chaos to calm was not just a personal victory. It was a beacon of hope for all who sought to find their own path to peace.